going? Thank you all for meeting me again this week. We're here back at Ralph's Pub and Bar. And I got Billy, he's back on the keys again this week. He really knows how to play them. Might be another piano player later tonight. We'll see. Haven't seen you in a week, so I hope everything's been all right. Yeah, I've been good. Thanks for asking. Before we get seated here, how about we just try to rewind a little bit about what we talked about last week on our date. You remember? I didn't mean to give you any homework or anything. I'm just joshing with you. Yeah, so last week, I talked to you about the beginnings of one Cardiff Electric way back in 2021. Yeah, those are good old days, just about a year after COVID. Yeah, I remember those days. I'm sure we all have our stories. I'd love to hear yours someday. But let me tell you my story. Well, not really. I don't have time for that. But I think I see our waitress coming now. Yes. Table or booth? What do you prefer? High top or booth? Huh? I say you know what? We'll take the booth this weekend. Okay? Thank you. Excuse me. Get through here. What? My bad. Suck it in. Thank you. Here's the menu. Oh, look. Alright, so while you decide what you want to order to drink, let me remind you what we talked about last week. So, it all started June 14th, 2021, when one Cardiff Electric decided he's going to create the now infamous, notorious SJ Army. It lasted a while. It was something. It lasted about a few months. We're going to get into that later tonight. But way back in May 18th, he tweeted about it. But the podcast itself didn't start until about a month later. And we did listen to the first episode, which, I think we all could go back and listen to a lot of our first episodes. And, I'm sure there's a lot of things we wish we could change. And I'm sure now everything's been done differently and whatever. I don't want Billy to play too long. I want to hear Billy. That's the whole thing. You got to hear Billy playing. But after that, went into this Dr. Steve interview, which was great that he managed to get a hold of him. And then a little bit of the Maddox interview this was just after the whole problem in the universe blew up and everything. And then he did the Adam Goldstein, not Goldberg. Now, Adam Goldberg, he was an actor. He played in Saving Private Ryan and was very successful. But he kept insisting that he was interviewing Adam Goldberg. And, Adam Goldstein, went along with it, but it wasn't Goldberg, it was Goldstein. And then he went on to talk about a unique interview, which he had still issues with Brandon Schwab back then, which had later been resolved, and I think they're still going on. So much to remember. Then we introduced you to one Pi Day Scott, which is a fan who just happened to have been married on Pi Day, which I believe is March 14th for all you science gurus out there. And then we finally closed the night off with the notorious and historic Carla interview with one Carl Hamburger. It was a great interview. It was all kind of leading up to that. He finally annoyed Carl enough to get him on. So that was cool. We got to listen to that. So we want to go back to our first date, episode 1, to hear all those great stories. Now, onto tonight while you look at the drink menu there. You know, I don't think we made it to happy hour, so you know, let's see, what do we got? Bush Light. I don't know. I'm not a fan of. I don't know about you guys, but I personally never been to a restaurant where I think Bush Light was on tap. If I'm ever in a place where Bush Light is on tap, I think I'm in the wrong place. Oh, what else we got here? All right. So, what do you want to talk about this week? Let's continue the story of the great SJ Army in the summer of 21. Just listen to Billy here for a minute. It's my favorite piano player. Last week I did tell you all what song this was, if any of you could remember. It's my favorite part right there. I do have a couple things to show you here before we get started. I did show you the original tweet about the SJ Army. Now, a lot of people back then were confused in Cardiff. They thought he was John originally. Everyone thought this was one of John's sock accounts back then, which I could understand, you know, and I'm sure no one, well, you know now. You know, and then it was real interesting. And then this one was the next day. I'm hand you over my phone here so you can read along with us here. Now, leading up to the end of August, there was a WATP Chicago show, which Cardiff was threatening to go there, strike or boycott, protest, chain the doors in protest of the SJ Army for all the things Carla was doing to him. Now, he was a big proponent of John. You know, he was trying to get on John's side back then, as we all know. He was even training really hard. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the video to show along with this, but I'm playing for you here. You can all read it. Carl was kind of catching on to what he was doing and just kind of ignoring him, which I think, you know, if you ever get, you know, somebody who just keeps mentioning you in posts and stuff and just berating you over and over again, you know, eventually kind of just like block them, mute them, ignore them. But I don't know, Carl saw it and was like, started giving him the attention he wanted, he was craving. And then, as we see in the bottom there was a Sal D, which, come to be known later on, a lot of people were even accusing Cardiff of being Sal D, which later on, people were then finding out that they thought it was Sal D was one of John's notorious sock accounts. Now, as far as like who's controlling what account, even still today, we all don't know. Everyone's just a name and an avatar. It could be anybody. Again, along with the Chicago mission, wanted to buy bricks, I guess, to seal up the doors to prevent anyone from going inside and seeing the show, which is always fantastic. That's a great idea. And more training, and more Sal D. One day, will we ever really know the answer of who Sal was, or who Hockey Puck really was? Hockey Puck was another guy. He was a Canadian dude who was in John's chat and was like one of his moderators and helping him out back then, around this time. He later kind of disappeared. We believe there was a falling out. Some still today think Hockey Puck is still helping John with his YouTube stuff, which, again, a lot of this stuff, you know, we'll never know. Maybe like on a deathbed confession, we'll probably get an answer. Now, along with the SJ Army, a lot of people nowadays like to go and make shirts. Now, back then, you could actually purchase a hashtag SJ Army t-shirt from Cardiff. I believe the website is still active today. I don't even know. I mean, I wouldn't trust it. But I might post the link later on now. But yeah, they have sizes all the way up to 4XL, which I know for some people out there, you know, some people just like, you know, some people like to wear baggy. You know, they like it bad, you know, a little loose. So a nice 4X is what you're gonna need there. And here's a DM. I don't know if you guys will probably read that. It's just another generic DM from Cardiff sent out to somebody. I'm not gonna say who this was sent to, but you see, he was kind of being a little. He was a little bit of a pest, I would say. Not a sex pest like John, but definitely a pest. Calling people, trying to get them on his show. Always asking, come on my show, come on my show. Again, another doxed Cardiff DM sent to somebody. Always, I mean, I don't know, a gentleman never tells. So I can't always reveal my sources or who's who, but you can see it goes all the way from back then. And during that time now, Cardiff was always trying to pester Carl to get on the show. Now, I am lucky enough that we do have one of the first times Cardiff was mentioned on WATP, way back on episode
this week, I want to
268.
Cardiff Electric. Do you know what Cardiff Electric is?
And maybe we're going to take a listen to that in a second, alright guys? So this was on July 18th in guest E-Rock. So Carl's going to introduce E-Rock to who Cardiff Electric is. And we're all going to take a listen to that while we order our drinks for the night.
This week, I want to report that Cardiff Electric. Do you know what Cardiff Electric is? E-Rock?
No. Is that in Wales?
No, he's this Twitter guy who pretends to love all things Stuttering John. He also puts things out where it seems like he's a Stuttering John sock account, but he's doing it on purpose so people think that he's a Stuttering John sock account. Anyway, he sent me a DM just this morning. He says, $500 and I'll do 10 minutes at your live show. Now, this is the guy who's been doing the hashtag SJ Army and Chicago Mission. He's been threatening to beat me up in Chicago, which, but God bless you, man. Come to the show in Chicago with hundreds of WATP fans and let's fight. What are you, stupid?
Well,
what are you going to do with that? Okay, fair enough. Go for it. I might have an acoustic guitar that I will break over your head. I'm not going to bring my nice one. So I wrote back, 10 minutes of what? I'll do 10 minutes at your live show. What do you do? So he says, addressing the trolls and haters, but you need to be prepared to deal with the truth. So I wrote back a counter offer. I said, how about I give you $0 and give you 5 minutes? I think that's a pretty good offer.
It's a good offer.
5 minutes to be on WATP.
Handle the truth. That's shit dumb pop stars say when like, I was ready to speak my truth, or are you ready to handle my truth? It's just that bullshit term that makes like, look, I don't even like your music. I know you're a hot chick, but the fact that you're speaking like this is why guys don't like you. This is why every guy cheats on you and leaves you, because you say stupid shit like that.
I don't know what Cardiff Electric's deal is. I kind of think that this is a troll account.
It has to be.
I think it's playing the long game.
Yeah, if the words are being spelled correctly, you know it's not John, but it's somebody that's wanting to carry John's favor.
Actually, he pretends to be John because what he writes to me after that is, keep stealing content, loser. So he always spells loser with 2 O's, which I think is like his nod to like, see, I'm Stuttering John, I'm stupid. You're like, oh, okay, I don't know.
How bad is it that you're pretending to be Stuttering John as a troll account?
Like, I don't know. I don't know.
That is really, really sad.
Anyway, that's
So that was the first time Cardiff was mentioned on WATP. Hear a young E-Rock there. And I know it's a little loud in here and it's kind of hard to hear, but I'm going to do my best to try to turn it up here. So then later, on August 22nd, Cardiff was mentioned again on the show, and this time with the original host, Kevin. Kevin was one of the original hosts of WATP along with Carl back then. He later left the show around just shy of episode 100. You know, some would say right before things were kicking up. And he was a good dude. He doesn't really show up too much. But every time now and then when he does show up, it's always really good. He's a really cool guy to listen to. If you go back and listen to a lot of the early episodes, and he's someone that always has the impressions and the voices. So we're going to take a listen to. Let me just quiet the noise down in the background. We'll take a quick guess.
I mean, even just for the fact that Triumph had a catchphrase makes him far and away funnier than anything John's ever done.
Yeah. Well, he's got Gabiga, right?
Right. Yeah, right. I forgot when he had.
Don't count him out, you know.
Yeah, when he had Sharon Stone and he was asking her question, he was like, "Hey, Sharon Stone, Gagia."
Gagias.
Oh, you'll be excited to know, John's show prep is on point. So this is a guy who's bitter that he didn't make as much money as Robert Smigel and Sacha Baron Cohen. And so what is he doing with his life now that Howard Stern isn't paying him peanuts and he can actually just do his own thing? This is a longer clip, but I'm going to let it play. And I want to give props to Joe Namath, NYJ4 in the Dabbler subreddit. He wrote, "This will have you on the edge of your seat."
Let's see. There was somebody else who wrote something. Let's see. Let's see. Here, if you want to watch a little bit of it with me, we can.
Could you make that into the Master of Puppets?
Yes.
Let's see. Let me just, as soon as this thing comes up. Oh wait, this is not the speech. This is some idiot from. Let's see. I'm trying to find the speech itself so we can actually hear a little bit of it. Before we get Hal in here.
This guy is a fucking moron.
Let's see. Is he still live? Let's see.
When you step into your living room and dining room,
This should be it. And we'll watch this for a little bit. Let's see.
Grandpa, you're boring.
Pulling it up here. No.
Oh, Cardiff, you want to come out and defend this man? You just heard that clip. Are you there, Cardiff Electric?
Hello?
Hello? What's up, buddy? This is my new friend, Cardiff Electric. I was just on his show.
Hey. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, so you're the guy, you're the SJRB guy. You started the whole movement.
I took it over.
What do you like about this guy's show? Did you hear that 2 minutes of him going, ah? Did you hear that?
Well, obviously, you took that out of context.
Okay. Did he say, guys, this is my impression of the worst show you could possibly put on, and then do that?
Possibly.
Possibly. No, he didn't. I watched it. He didn't.
Maybe I should start clipping your show and finding all the embarrassing flubs that you do.
You should. I encourage it. And by the way, Cardiff Electric, you're a far superior podcaster to Stuttering John. I enjoy your show. I don't even know why you like this guy. You're better than him.
Did you listen to our interview that we did?
I was there. I talked to you in real time.
That is
great.
true. Thank you.
Cardiff Electric, do you do the movie phone? Are you movie phone voice?
I am Dr. Remulak.
Why don't you tell me what you would like to see?
Is this Brian Johnson?
This is my buddy Kevin.
Sounds like Brian Johnson.
Well, wasn't able to get a get this week, so we got Kevin.
Yeah. You're stuck with me, assholes.
You also got the Cardiff Electric podcast.
Well, that's true. One of the biggest podcasts in the world, so that's exciting. Cardiff, what am I getting wrong, buddy? I'm going to give you the floor for a second. Go for it.
Well, I think as we discussed yesterday, Stuttering John has successfully conquered all the media, and you're obviously jealous of him. So I thought we agreed that you weren't going to do these segments anymore.
Well, yeah, I know. You had me convinced, and then something happened. I woke up this morning and I went, "Oh, that's right. That does suck. I got to keep talking about it. My bad."
And please don't forget to play my ad.
I already did play your ad.
I fell asleep.
You were taking a little siesta today?
Yes, I had to get up early to finish editing the interview.
Gotcha.
Classic Cardiff.
I didn't hear. I don't know if there's a lot of editing in your show. I never hear any editing going on, which is part of the charm, by the way.
Thank you.
This guy's the best.
I am fucking confused as shit.
All right, buddy. I'm going to let you go. I mean, you do bring it. I love your energy, but I got to get back to talking about these Stuttering John clips that I have, if that's cool.
Ciao, bello.
All right, you guys are ready to hear the story of John's trans son. Now,
It's always great to hear Kevin. I wish he was still back on the show. But now we move on to the next time, which was, this one was post Chicago mission. This one was with special guest Kaya. Now, if you listen to today's WATP, Kaya returned along with Doug, and they both co-hosted. Kaya was always great. He was a big fan. He was a big fan of the show and a big contributor back then. He was always co-hosting a lot and contributing a lot. But yeah, there are things going on. And this was the first time Kaya was introduced to Cardiff Electric. So, episode 277. So let's take a listen to it.
all right, I want to start off talking about this Cardiff Electric thing. And Cardiff is here. I wonder if Cardiff wants to talk to us right now. Cardiff, are you there, buddy?
He's spamming me.
He's spamming you?
You've already violated part of our agreement. I was supposed to be coming in during pee breaks.
That's right. I forgot about
Who
that.
are you?
Kaya?
Yeah. Why are you messaging me to unblock you as if I have the power?
Talk to me when you're a citizen.
Okay, so Dr. Steve is a big Cardiff Electric fan. Dr. Steve was on your show, Cardiff.
Dr. Steve is a noble man.
He is a noble man.
He
I
has
agree.
COVID.
He had COVID. Yes, he's over it. Thank goodness.
Yes.
So we all said a prayer for Dr. Steve. So he goes on Stuttering John's show and starts giving him super chat money to tell John to unblock Cardiff because hashtag unblock Cardiff. As we all know, Cardiff, who is the biggest supporter of Stuttering John and the SJ Army, has been blocked by Stuttering John. It's crazy.
It is tragic.
It's tragic.
It's a tragic thing.
So I want to play this clip. It's about 2 minutes long. If you want me to stop it and pause it, please tell me. This is so funny because he reads Dr. Steve's note because he has to. And John decides to lie at first and then realizes that, like, okay, this is too obvious, and then pretends like he just didn't know any better when he starts telling the truth.
So I will see you here on Thursday. Thank you, Dr. Steve. Thank John. Please unblock Cardiff Electric. He's very hurt and always promotes Stuttering John Army wherever he goes. I didn't block him. Block him from where? Here? I didn't block him. I don't know. If he's blocked, it wasn't me.
All right, so already we're off to a good start. I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
I didn't block him.
Sorry, I would like to extend my apologies to Cardiff. I did not know that you were mentioning the Stuttering John show.
I am just trying to raise awareness.
Yes.
I'm trying to raise awareness for the Unblock Cardiff movement.
I understand now.
You have a big platform.
I apologize.
I need you to, on every Twitch stream from here on out, to talk about unblocking Cardiff Electric. All right, so you just heard the setup of this. He reads the question immediately. He denies it. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no control. I didn't block him. I don't know. And then listen to this turnaround. Yep.
I have no idea. I even said hello to him. I blocked him from Twitter because he keeps on telling me shit that's on Reddit, and I don't care about that. I don't want to know anything that's on Reddit. I don't want to know anything that's on any of these social media sites. They're a bunch of losers.
All right. So he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't block him. And he goes, I mean, I did block him on Twitter. Well, then wouldn't you think that that's what they're talking about? Wouldn't you assume that's what we're talking about if you did block him somewhere?
If you heard the clip correctly, he said hello to me, and that is true.
Yes, because you were there on the YouTube stream. He'll take super chats.
Did he pretend that he was hacked again and his moderators blocked Cardiff?
Listen to this. He explains why he was blocked.
They're hateful trolls who have no lives, who are relentlessly obsessed with me, and all they do is lie about me. And Cardiff Electric felt the need to constantly DM me and tell me things that are going on these sites after I told them don't.
So Cardiff, props to you. This is the ultimate troll. Cardiff goes, hey, I just want you to know that this person called you a retard. This person thinks you're a baboon. This person over here.
This person thinks you're bitter. You're bitter, right, John?
We're all bitter.
I was just trying to help John raise awareness. Really, the key moment was he was trying to, Erica Zane was trying to get Stuttering John on his show, and I needed to warn him not to go on that troll show.
That's hilarious.
Don't. So I blocked him from my Twitter accounts because I've asked him on numerous occasions. I don't want to know. Why do you tell me these things? I don't care what these people say. They know where I am every day. Pickwick Pub.
Fucking liar.
Back to the tough guy talk. So he blocked Cardiff for telling what they're saying.
Back to the lie.
And then says, I don't care what they say. Then why are you blocking people who are telling you what they say? What's the difference then?
No, yeah. Also, Cardiff. I don't know who that is, but who did someone block him? Who? Oh, I blocked them because he was telling me about people that make fun of me.
He knows the whole story.
What an asshole.
Yeah, he starts up by going, I don't know what you're talking about. What could you be? And then he's like, well, yeah, so here's what happened.
What's blocking?
Obviously, John made a mistake in blocking me.
Yes.
So that's why I started the campaign to unblock Cardiff. Raise awareness. And maybe he will see. And Dr. Steve graciously donated $6 to help me.
Could you imagine if there's someone on Twitter who's tweeting about something you don't care about? NASCAR.
Okay.
And they're just tweeting about NASCAR all day, and you block them. I don't care about NASCAR. Why do you keep tweeting about it? That's what John is saying right here. He's like, I don't care what anyone says about me on social media. This guy keeps talking about what they're saying about me on social media, so I blocked him. I thought you didn't care. What do you mean you blocked him for that reason? Sounds like you do care. Sounds like you're butthurt about it, if I had to guess.
They know where I am every day. Pickwick Pub. I'll be there today right after I vote no on the recall. You have a problem with me? Come there. That's all I have to say.
It's easier to just troll you, John.
You want to be a tough guy? Come see me there. Okay? So, I'll be there. I'll be there. Pickwick Pub. I'll be there.
Buy me a beer.
You have a problem with me. But as far as that, Dr. Steve, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was going to say, I like that he's been doing this thing where he's inviting people to fight him at his local favorite pub.
Yeah.
I'm there at 1 p.m. in the afternoon drinking 16 beers deep. Fight me, bro.
I love that he says, I'm there every single day at 3 p.m. Right there, I'd be like, well, that's embarrassing. I don't know if you want to say that.
Yeah.
But then this idea that anybody wants to fight him, no, we just want to laugh at you because you're a boob. You don't know the difference between like no one hates Stuttering John. We love him. We want him to do a show every day. We want him to get wasted and go on the internet and stream it. What is he talking about?
John, nobody wants to fight you. Nobody wants to like kill you. That's not a thing. We just want to giggle.
I actually want to slap him around a little bit.
No, there will be no slapping John around.
It's a slapping.
No, there will no violence against that fat fuck.
We don't wish you harm.
Let's get back to the clip. Just a little bit more here.
You have a problem with me. But as far as that, Dr. Steve, I don't want to know this stuff. And Cardiff just keeps on telling me, and I've asked him not to. I have no problem with the man. I don't dislike the guy.
You should. Because he's trolling you pretty fucking hard.
He's wrong about everything.
Excuse me?
Cardiff might be his biggest troll right now. Yeah, he's a great guy.
You're right. No.
You're not a troll, Cardiff?
I am against haters and trolls on the internet.
Right, yeah.
Are you telling me that you're not going to fight him at 1 p.m. at the local bar? I'll be there, Cardiff.
I cannot imagine that the owners of that bar and all the people who work there want one of their regulars inviting people to come in and fight him. It sounds like bad for business, doesn't it?
Unless you want him taken care of.
No. He makes them rich. Keep that in mind. Like the alcohol industry makes most of their money off of the whales, just like gambling.
Yes.
Right? So Stuttering John, he may be single-handedly keeping the bar alive, man.
And Coors Light.
Yeah, at least Coors Light.
Coors Light was going to go out of business. Cardiff, I love the show, buddy. It keeps getting better. I listen to every episode. I thought your Eric Zane episode was fantastic. So if you haven't listened to this yet, it's a half an hour long. For some reason, the show's supposed to end in 15 minutes, and then Cardiff goes, "Oh, my mouse isn't working. I got to update a driver." And then they just keep talking for another 15 minutes. It's really well done.
Did you like my Greg Hamburger episode?
I did like the Greg Hamburger episode, yes. You're killing it, buddy. Keep it up.
Well, the Cardiff Electric Podcast Network is expanding next week. Stay tuned for more details on our newest show.
Well, or you can just tell people now while you're talking to an audience.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's really listening.
Okay, fair enough.
Whoa.
Yeah, they are. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming on.
That's a wrong sort of vibration, bro.
Yeah, you put out the wrong vibration.
Well, thank you, Cardiff.
It's nice to speak with you, Mr. whatever your name is.
Oh, you're big timing Kaya now?
Yeah, right back at ya.
Yeah, whatever your name is, buddy. All right.
Kaya's always great on the show, and in there you hear him mention about John talking about Cardiff, which we do have that clip, and we'll listen to that in just a second. But also in there he mentions the Eric Zane interview and the Grant Hamburger interview, which we will listen to tonight after our meal during our date. So that's what we're doing. But right now, you did hear him mention about John. John's first time that he mentioned Cardiff, well, he always seen him in his chat, but it was up until now that we hear John talk about Cardiff for the first time on YouTube.
Just in case, John, what's up with this Cardiff Electric? Is he a friend of the show? He has an interesting podcast. I don't know if you could call it interesting. He claims to be a friend of the show. I personally think he's Saudi, but I don't really, I don't know. He claims to be Stuttering John Army. I don't know. As Nikki B will tell you, we don't trust anybody anymore. There are sick people. And I'm learning it like more and more. Like it's really odd. They'll become your friend and then suddenly they'll turn on you. They come to 2 of your comedy shows and suddenly, out of nowhere, turn on you. It's really a bizarre mentality.
Oh, I like this song. Looks like we got a new piano player in the house. But yes, that was the first time John did. One of the first times John mentioned Cardiff on his show. Oh, wow. Hear that? Listen to that ace note. Oh. It's going to take a minute for people to figure out what song that is. But back in that last WATP clip I played, you did hear John mention how Cardiff blocked him. And we're going to take a quick listen to John explaining that right about now.
Just in case. John, what's up with this? Cardiff Electric, I am not unblocking you. You're a troublemaker. Stop telling Monique from Radio Gunk that I'm bad-mouthing her, because I'm not. I love Monique and she's a friend of mine. You're a freaking troll, so just get lost, okay? I gave you your attention. You should be very happy. You could go jerk off later.
That was just a quick hit. But now we get back to the meat and potatoes of why we're here. While we're here at Ralph's Pub and Bar for the night. Where's my music? What happened to it? Oh, there he is. Just wondering where he went to. But now we're going to get into it. The Cardiff Electric podcast. August 23rd, 2021. This one was released just a week before the Chicago mission. And in here, Cardiff will explain a little bit of podcast schooling, along with 2 special guests that even today we still hear about from time to time. One of them has been known to house certain types of animals in her house. I'm sure some of you probably already know who I'm talking about. But we're all going to take a listen to while we just enjoy the ambiance of being here and the music playing. So glad the people in the back finally be a little bit quieter. I'm just waiting for somebody to see if they can guess what song this is. I'm sure YouTube, terms of service, will tell me before anyone in the chat does. But anyway, let's get to hear why we're here. The Cardiff Electric podcast. Starting right now.
Welcome to the Cardiff Electric Podcast School, where we make and fear podcasts better through the use of constructive criticism. If you have a podcast and you think you could benefit from the Cardiff Electric Podcast School, make sure to visit our Patreon and subscribe at the podcast school level. From there, we will take your podcast and analyze it to make you a better podcaster. As you just heard, today's episode will be an episode devoted to the Cardiff Electric Podcast School, where we make inferior podcasts better through the use of constructive criticism. We've been doing this for many years behind the scenes and decided to bring our system of podcast improvement to the masses. Each week on this show, we will put 100 of the worst podcasts from the internet on a wheel. We will then spin that wheel, and wherever it lands, that is the podcast episode that we will discuss and try and help. So, let's spin the wheel and find out which podcast we're going to help today. Well, it looks like the wheel has landed on Who Are These Podcasts? Very little known podcast coming out of apparently Rochester, New York. Let's give it a listen and see if we can help them out. This episode is titled Guardians of Lore, episode 273. Let's hear it.
Totally lost. There's so many characters, so much going on, parallel universes, all for a first-person shooter game. I'm not a first-person shooter guy. I know a lot of people like those games. I find them boring. And they're all the same. Like, who cares what the setting is? Oh, I'm on a different planet. Oh, I'm in Vietnam. Like, whatever.
Well, we all heard that clip. My first piece of advice, if you're going to have a successful podcast that's engaging to your audience, you want to make it about something that you're passionate about and that you have a lot of knowledge about. Your passion for a topic will come out through the podcast as an expression of your art. Many times, a podcast needs the support of advertisers in order to support the art. So you need to buy equipment and pay for bandwidth, all sorts of things. So a good sponsor can often help podcasts become better. Let's hear what this podcast has for sponsorships.
Speaking of sponsors, I forgot to play this on last week's show. Cardiff Electric has an ad that he wants us to play for his show.
Hello. Are you tired of listening to inferior podcasts like the one you're hearing today? Are you tired of not having anything interesting to listen to on the internet? Are you tired of haters and trolls ruining everything? Well, then we have a podcast for you, the Cardiff Electric Podcast. Listen to it today, everywhere you listen to podcasts.
So I was just on the Cardiff Electric podcast. I believe he put it out today. And it was a longer interview than he normally does. I didn't want to stop talking to him. He's such an interesting guy.
As discussed earlier, great sponsors make great podcasts. Looks like this show has that covered with some great sponsors like that. Next, guests. A great podcast needs to have great guests. Let's hear who this podcast has as a guest.
Oh, Cardiff, you want to come out and defend this man? You just heard that clip. Are you there, Cardiff Electric?
Hello?
What's up, buddy? This is my new friend, Cardiff Electric. I was just on his show.
Hey. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, so you're the guy, you're the SJRB guy. You started the whole movement. What do you like about this guy's show? Did you hear that 2 minutes of him going, ah? Did you hear that?
Well, obviously, you took that out of context.
Okay. Did he say, guys, this is my impression of the worst show you could possibly put on, and then do that?
Possibly.
Possibly. No, he didn't. I watched it. He didn't.
Maybe I should start clipping your show and finding all the embarrassing flubs that you do.
You should. I encourage it. And by the way, Cardiff Electric, you're a far superior podcaster to Stuttering John. I enjoy your show. I don't even know why you like this guy. You're better than him.
Did you listen to our interview that we did?
I was there. I talked to you in real time.
That is true. Thank you.
Well, wasn't able to get a get this week, so we got Kevin.
Yeah. You're stuck with me, assholes.
You also got the Cardiff Electric podcast.
Well, that's true. One of the biggest podcasts in the world, so that's exciting. Cardiff, what am I getting wrong, buddy? I'm going to give you the floor for a second. Go for it.
Well, I think as we discussed yesterday, Stuttering John has successfully conquered all the media, and you're obviously jealous of him. So I thought we agreed that you weren't going to do these segments anymore.
Well, yeah, I know. You had me convinced, and then something happened. I woke up this morning and I went, "Oh, that's right. This guy does suck. I got to keep talking about it. My bad."
And please don't forget to play my ad.
I already did play your ad.
I fell asleep.
You were taking a little siesta today?
Yes, I had to get up early to finish editing the interview.
Gotcha.
Classic Cardiff.
I didn't hear. I don't know if there's a lot of editing in your show. I never hear any editing going on, which is part of the charm, by the way.
Thank you.
This guy's the best.
I am fucking confused as shit.
All right, buddy. I'm going to let you go. I mean, you do bring it. I love your energy, but I got to get back to talking about these Stuttering John clips that I have, if that's cool.
Well, that definitely was a great guest. What this podcast lacks in content, it makes up for in behind-the-scenes production. Obviously, they have a great team of people that are bringing in quality guests like that. Unfortunately, the host did not speak to the guest properly to make the interview more engaging. What's next? There's a famous expression in the radio business that you have a face for radio. Well, that may be true with this podcast, but what this podcast doesn't have is a voice for radio. Let's listen.
But he'll keep talking about it on his fucking show. Like, it doesn't bother him, but he's going to spend a bunch of time talking about it.
Oh. He won't shut up about it.
I try to only provide constructive criticism. That's just terrible. Some shows on the internet tend to overuse technology, almost as a crutch. Instead of providing content, they fill time using audio drops from other shows or television or movies. I put together a sample of this usage from this show.
Guy has huge balls. Absolutely huge balls. We have a night, Jose.
I mean, like, okay.
I hope you'll join me this Saturday morning and every Saturday morning at 2.
When Carl comes over, I'll stuff him till he don't know what's what.
Episode 2.
Penis.
Are you a boner guy?
Cuzaroo. Slapperoonie. It's showtime. Babble, babble, babble.
Farting in the mosh pits of morning radio. And now the show is over now.
Okay. Great show. Good job, everybody.
Great job, everyone.
Be more funny.
Masturbate. Don't say shit for attention. It's not cute.
Fuck you. There've been no laughs. None.
Well, that's retarded. That's the way to go.
Who are these
Podcasts.
I don't get it.
Makes no sense.
So I think that was a good demonstration of the overuse of sound effects and sound drops from the internet. We did some intensive analysis of this show. Runtime was 140 minutes and 2 seconds. Of that time, the two hosts only actually were on mic for 7 minutes and 42 seconds. The rest of the show was filler, with clips and sound bites from other more successful shows. Shameful. In closing with this show, I think the two hosts summed it up best themselves to give themselves a final rating. Let's hear what they have to say.
This is bad.
It's really bad.
Hey, Carl.
Yeah.
This is a bad podcast.
You just figured that out.
Yeah, it's pretty
good.
bad.
It's pretty bad.
Today's show is also brought to you by Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, even though I have millions of listeners. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
That was a good episode. As you heard in the middle there, he did play a whole section from episode 273, which we heard earlier, but now you hear it through Cardiff's words. Once we get ready for our next interview. The next one comes up on September 7th. Now this interview, he interviews somebody that I know a lot of people listening. Hold on a minute, Rod, can you turn it down a little? I just gave away the song. But yeah, this one, a lot of people listening might not like or agree with today, but you know, you got to remember when this was. This was back in 2021. This was before all the allegations, the lawsuits, the LOL suits. So just keep that in mind when you're listening. And well, you don't need me to say anymore. But let's listen to Little Rod real quick.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast, one of the most famous podcasts on the internet today. Well, it's been a busy couple weeks in the Cardiff Electric universe. We completed the Chicago mission. We negotiated with the terrorists and we won. We got a favorable result. There is an embargo while all the legal paperwork is being completed, but we should have all the details for you by the 1st of October. But let me let you know that soon you'll be hearing the Cardiff Electric podcast every week on that other show as part of the negotiation. Also, as the Chicago mission shifted into a recon mode due to the negotiations, I went undercover into the event. I recorded the whole event live to show that there were no laughs and nobody was enjoying themselves. Also, I got backstage and I got up close to the actual Carla and I recorded him saying really bad things about all his guests and co-hosts, including Shuli and Husey and Vinny and all those people. Unfortunately, I sent the tapes to my editor in New York City to be edited for broadcast, and Hurricane Ida came in and flooded the studio and destroyed all the tapes. On this week's show, we get down and dirty with Shuli. So I tried to get Stuttering John to come on this episode with me, and we could get Shuli back together. Unfortunately, while we were discussing the timing of the interview, Stuttering John accidentally blocked me on Twitter. So, if I could ask the entire SJ Army to let Stuttering John know to unblock me on Twitter, and maybe next time we will get Shuli on and I'll have Stuttering John on to confront the troll.
Hello?
Hello and welcome to the Cardiff Electric podcast, the most famous podcast on the internet today. How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for finally joining us.
You're welcome.
I was not being passive aggressive at all with that statement.
Didn't feel like it.
Good. So welcome to the show. Would you like to introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, my name is Shuli Agar. I'm a comic and broadcaster / podcaster.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what triggered your fall from respected newsman to Stuttering John Troll? Go ahead.
Well, I wouldn't call myself a Stuttering John Troll. I think that's kind of the other way around. You know, I think he does a lot more trolling. And, you know, when you live in that world, sometimes it comes back at you a little bit. So I don't see it as any downfall whatsoever, but I know you're very pro John, so I will try and be as respectful as possible out of respect to you.
Well, thank you.
Not him.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your respect.
Go ahead.
But that was okay. So I heard that you dabble in comedy. Can you tell me a joke?
Are you wearing a welder's mask while you do this?
No.
Voice sounds like it's that wasn't the joke, by the way. It was just a question.
I didn't know.
All right, I'll tell you a joke my daughter told me.
So you're stealing a joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
What did the bucket say when it landed the awesome backflip?
I don't know.
Pussy fart.
This is a G-rated show. How old is your daughter?
Sorry, 11. Sorry, I can change that. What did the bucket say when it landed the awesome backflip?
It's okay. I'll likely edit the entire segment out. It wasn't that fun.
Paled it.
Okay.
I know. Pussy fart's fun here. Go ahead.
So why do they call you Shuli?
Do you want a knock-knock joke?
Why do they call you Shuli?
Well, that's my name.
Who was your favorite whack packer?
I mean, it's tough. I have a special place in my heart for quite a few of them. So I really can't pick one. You know,
chocolate
it's like
or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Why are you so jealous of Stuttering John Melendez?
I mean, I don't think that I am. Do you have any examples of me being jealous of him?
Well, we have a rating system here.
Go ahead.
And on the rating system, there's 5 points.
Sure.
You may actually score half a point, but let's go through the system.
Let's go.
Have you spent many years as a key character on a national radio show?
Yes, I have.
Again, that's where I will give you half a point. Have you been on multiple network television shows?
One, yes.
Which one is that?
Cops. It was years ago.
Okay. Were you ever an announcer on The Tonight Show?
I was not, no.
Okay. Have you written best-selling books?
Well, hold on. Can I ask a question in return?
Can I finish?
Sure.
Okay. Have you written best-selling books?
No, I have not.
Okay. Have you had multiple gold albums?
But when
with
we
your
say
band?
best-selling, what, I mean, how, is there proof of that?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Drinking on the job, huh?
Have you produced any gold albums?
I have not.
Okay. Have you produced and starred in movies that have been presented by National Lampoon?
I mean, a lot of people can answer yes to this. I mean, a lot of people that you've never heard of.
So you're deflecting.
But I have not.
Okay, thank you. So, again, that shows all those things are things that Stuttering John has accomplished in his career in media.
That is true.
You have barely been on a national radio show. But I thank you for having the courage to come on our show today, even though it seemed like you were scared to come on. But thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Have you read Stuttering John's book?
No. No, I have not.
Okay, well, the next 14 questions are irrelevant. You said you had a question. You can go ahead if you want.
Jeez, now I got to go back and remember my question. Yeah, I don't remember it. Sorry. I was really banking on those 14 book questions. I could still answer them.
It's okay. So when you were fired from the Howard Stern Show, did you get to keep your Sirius discount?
Number one, I was not fired. I resigned, aka quit. And two, yes, I still have my hookup.
Oh, very good. Do you have a code?
I do.
Can you share?
I cannot.
Okay. I think Howard Stern comes back today.
That's what I hear. Yes, he's returning today, and I'm sure a lot of people are very excited about that.
Yes, all four of them. Okay, well, that is all I had for you. Thank you for your time. Did you have any plugs?
The Shuley Show on Patreon or wherever you get your podcasts, and YouTube. The Shuley Show, we are live every Tuesday night. We're live tonight, as well as the Miserable Men Show that I do with some comics, including the Reverend Bob Levy. That is on Patreon only. And I have another podcast coming out with a comedian friend of mine called Thanks for Coming Out, a podcast about bombing, and that'll be out soon. And Cardiff, thank you for your patience. I'm sorry things got a little sidetracked.
Okay.
But
you know Bob Levy?
I do. You want me to talk to him about possibly coming on here?
I would like to talk to him about something, more of a personal matter, but yes. I have been reaching out to him and Gina for a while.
Okay. He owes you money for Coke or Coke?
No, my wife got an infection once from a blue cheese bit that he did many years ago, and I would like restitution.
Understood. I was the pourer for quite some time. I wasn't involved with it, was I?
You might have been there.
All right, gotta go. Thanks, buddy.
Okay, bye.
Substandard podcasts like the one you're listening to now? Well, we have a cure for your podcast needs. The world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast is available now on Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Cassette, and everywhere else you listen. Enjoy laughs and thought-provoking talk on the Cardiff Electric podcast. Also buy a shirt or a mug. There.
There's a lot of things happening right now. I can't speak too loud, but big things are coming. Let's go to the phones.
Let's go to the phones and hear what our listeners have to say.
Hey, Cardiff. I'm sitting here in San Diego on Sunday morning, and I listened to the WATP podcast, and I was hoping to hear that the Stuttering John Army disrupted their live show. But I'm rattled. It appears the SJ Army, according to hated Carl Hamburger, didn't appear. What was the glitch? Can you please explain to your millions of listeners what went wrong? There must be some major hangup. Maybe you had a secret agreement with Carl. I don't know. Please get back with your listeners. Thank you. First, the Afghanistan army goes AWOL. Now, even more shocking news. The SJ Army, yes, the Stuttering John Army, goes AWOL. They don't show up for WATP. Ugh, this is terrible news. Let us know what's going on, Cardiff, please. Hey, Cardiff, I hate to admit it, but that Stuttering John podcast is getting a little monotonous. He has on the same two guests every show. Army Major Richard Ojeda, who pretty much hates Trump, and that's all he says, and his butt-sniffing best friend, Hal Sparks. The same two guests every show. Can't he get somebody else? And whatever happened to his comedy? His top-notch comedy? I'm waiting to hear some comedy from Stuttering John. I don't know. This is really getting bad. Too monotonous for me. I ask you, Cardiff, who do you think is a bigger troll? Is it Lackey and Toady Anthony Cuman, or that sniveling groveler Carl Hamburger? Which one is the biggest troll? Thank you. After visiting Stuttering John at the Pickwick Pub, it took him exactly 1 week to give me a call. He said, "Hey, you prick, Gary. I'd like to come down to San Diego for some rest and relaxation before I do my DC interviews." Unfortunately, I had to tell him, "No, John, you can't stay with me at my beach house because my wife only allows one slob at a time, and that slob is me." So I had to turn down Stuttering John, even though I would have liked to have him stay at my beach house here in San Diego. John, you're on your own finding a place. Okay, talk to you later.
Today's episode is also brought to you by Manscaped. The new Manscaped 2.0 lawnmower offers superior performance and grooming tools for all your manscaping needs. Use promo code Cardiff Electric for 50% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com. Promo code Cardiff Electric. Today's show is also brought to you by Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola Corporation wants to let you know that summer's here. And what goes better with summer on a hot day than an ice-cold Coca-Cola? Psst, crack one open today and celebrate everything in the summer. When you buy your Coca-Cola today, let them know that you heard about it on the Cardiff Electric podcast.
That was the Shuley interview episode. Now I know, alright, some of you probably all have your opinions on Shuley, but that was 2021. That was about a year before Rico and all that, so, save your comments. We're not judging people here, So, retrospective. Alright. The next one we got is a very special episode. Now, earlier I know before I mentioned about the two special hamburger guests, I was wrong on that. It's actually this episode, and you'll hear them both here talking about one Carla. So enough of me. Back to the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world famous Cardiff Electric podcast, one of the most famous podcasts on the internet today. Today we have a very special episode with two very special guests. But before we get to our guests, I have a request for everyone in the SJ Army. Tragically, Cardiff Electric, the podcast, has been blocked by the great Stuttering John Melendez on both Twitter and on his live stream. I would ask everyone in the Stuttering John Army, hashtag SJ Army, to convert their use of the hashtag SJ Army, and for the remaining time in September, to start using the hashtag UnblockCardiff. That's hashtag UNBLOCKCARDIFF. Again, that's hashtag there's only one R. Hashtag UNBLOCKCRDIFF. Thank you. Hello and welcome to. Hello? Oh, no one's here yet.
No, what you are using
it
the
means
audio
recording,
device.
but he's recording us.
Hello, welcome.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
We're doing good.
Good. Let's get started. Uh-oh. First, do I have your permission to record this for broadcast on the internet?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Thank you. Hold on. Some technical difficulties. Okay. So first of all, thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to. I was not finished. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. So for our audience who only knows that I'm having some very special guests today, please go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Pretty boring. I'm just Chrissy.
So, yeah, and I'm Grant. I'm Carl from WATP's brother.
Oh my.
Yes.
This is going to be a big show.
I hope so.
Fine. I'm Carl's sister-in-law. So there.
Which she is.
You are very famous on the Discord, which I've heard.
Yeah, and I stay off of it on purpose. So this is our podcast debut.
Very good. Well, welcome to the show again. So let's get right into it. So most of the questions will be for both of you. Some will be for one. I will specify at the time of questioning. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So for both of you, have you ever met Carla?
No, I have never met Carla.
Okay.
I've met Carl. Can I braid his hair?
How would you describe the foul odor coming from his ears?
Delicious.
Yeah, I've never tasted it. Nah, pass. Next question.
Okay, this question is just for Chrissy. When agreeing to marry a hamburger, what percentage of your apprehension was based on being related by law to Carla?
It's like a beef byproduct. So like 85-15. There's gotta be at least 15% fat.
We're making hamburgers then.
Ooh. Is that
Oh, it's time? All right.
what?
Awesome.
Oh, you fucker. Oh.
Hey, it's a G-rated show, I heard.
Yes. Yes, it is. So Greg, this question is for you. You do a podcast with a woman named Chrissy, who is not your wife. Does that
Keep going.
Does that cause any confusion?
Only in the bedroom.
No. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because I knew her before I knew my wife. So yeah.
Okay. What is your favorite dish to eat when dining at the Swan Market?
We don't eat dishes. They're made out of ceramic.
No. I don't understand the question. Next.
When you go to the Swan Market for dinner, what is your favorite thing to eat?
What's a Swan Market?
It's like dim sum, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very famous German restaurant in Rochester.
German?
No, I've never been to it.
According to your credit card statements, you have.
Okay, well, somebody's been going there. Yeah, man, you've been doing some extensive research. I'm impressed.
Thank you. Can I come with you to a Bills game?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
What's your favorite team?
The Bills.
All right. Yeah, next time you're in town, absolutely.
Okay. This question is just for Greg. Is Mountain Dew an effective contraceptive?
Where do you put it? Are you pouring it in or using the can?
I know, right? Well, I do have two kids, so I wouldn't say not great. Which brings me to a point here. Your show is brought to us by Coca-Cola. Is this a conflict of interest talking about this?
This is a Pepsi.
No, I am not a slave to my sponsors.
Okay. All right, continue. But it's not effective. Not effective. Rumors, lies.
Thank you. Good news. Okay. So the two of you can answer this question as a team. That's fine, game show style.
All right.
Please name your top 14 Motley Crue songs.
Love Bites.
Okay.
Is that Motley Crue?
Yeah, sure. It's Motley Crue, whatever. I'm going to go with Crazy Train.
That's Ozzy.
Oh, stop it. And yours was Def Leppard. What?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, we're going to get in a fight, aren't we?
Oh, baby.
Okay.
Naked or not?
All right.
Mud or no mud? With Chrissy or without Chrissy?
Okay. Are you proud of yourselves?
14 songs or 2?
Okay, stop. He's on to the next question.
Proud of what? Which accomplishment, Cardiff? There's so many.
Oh, jeez. You're going to break his radio there. What?
Why do they call you Shuli? No, that's not for you.
That was my...
It's because I'm bomb. I'm bomb like Shuli.
Okay.
Bomber than Shuli. Shuli got nothing on me, honey.
Yeah, regretting this, aren't you? Continue.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Neapolitan, because I like threesomes. Want to come over?
Chocolate or vanilla? I need an answer.
Chocolate, baby. Lick it up. Lick it up.
So my answer is I don't believe in a world of or. I believe in a world of and. So chocolate and vanilla.
That's what I would expect from a hamburger. Carla is allegedly married to a woman. Does she need any help?
It's funny. I have no way of contacting her to find out. So
that's interesting.
I know.
Okay, buckle up, folks.
Okay,
now we're about to get deep.
Okay, this double points or something?
Please explain how you ended up to know Carla.
You see, there's an egg and a sperm, and when they get together, they create a baby.
Thank you.
The baby comes out of the vagina.
The question was more for Grant.
Oh, how'd I get to know? When?
Then the brother happens.
Yeah. No. So, well, I mean, he was born. He came. Actually, I think I visited him in the hospital first time I met him.
So you were first.
Yes, I am the older brother. Although you can't tell by looking at us, but okay.
That's good. This is going to help with the next questions because you would have the perspective of an older brother.
He has no hair.
As young boys, did he always display jealousy, most notably towards children with straight teeth and straight feet?
Oh my God. You know, I'd never really thought about yes, definitely.
How did he express this jealousy toward these straight-feeted and straight-teeth children?
I believe it's straight-footed and straight-toothed.
Yeah. How he didn't have a lot of friends. He wouldn't hang out with people. His only friends were actually in wheel. It's funny, only like Crippled Jesus. They're like best friends. It all makes sense now.
Did he spend time in his basement talking to the radio about these other children?
He slept in a crib for most of his life. He's used to bars.
Go ahead, honey. You answer the rest. We can keep going.
His mother kept him in a crib for most of his life because she just had to keep beating him to keep him in line. So she used sticks and she would just smack at him. Smack, smack, smack.
Okay. All right.
When in school and asked to do an assignment, instead of doing the assignment with original content, did he just criticize his classmates instead?
Well, we went to high school together. He copied off of me. I'm brilliant. It's all about me, Cardiff.
To be honest with you, this is totally true. He's always criticized everything, and he does that laugh as he criticizes it. Like that's him. He was born.
I believe the word is maniacal.
Yeah, he was honestly born to do this. Like what he does, like just what he does.
Was he born or was he created?
He was born. Continue.
I don't want to point the finger, but I think your parents might have some responsibility here.
Yeah.
Okay. July 18th, 1992, the episode of WWF Superstars, David Milson was versus Virgil. What was your favorite part of that match?
Andre the Giant.
Well, first of all, drink. Hold on. All right. Second, I think my favorite part was the fact that I wasn't watching it.
Okay. Did Carla ever admit to being molested as a child by neighbors, friends, or family?
I think he was molested by a golf club.
No, that was me. But again, we're talking about Carl. Just stop. No, not that I know of.
Is that why your ass is so loose?
Stop it. I'm sorry, man. Next question.
Okay.
This is going great.
That is all I have for you two. If I would like to send you a prize, if you would like to send me your home address, I will send you a prize next time I'm in the Rochester area.
Can we meet you?
You already have. We met at the live event. I was there incognito.
But I want
So speaking, she wants to talk to you. So speaking of that, we're watching. And this is totally true. This is for your listeners, all your listeners. There is you were definitely there because we're watching, and she was messaging with you while we're watching the show, and he said you were behind us. So were you at CJ's table?
I will not give away my strategic location, unfortunately, but I was there.
Because I have pictures, so I was gonna go through them, figure out which one was you.
I'll show you maybe, since you sent me a picture that I'm going to use for the cover of my episode. I will send you a picture with my face blurred out that I took with Dr. Steve. He's a big fan of mine.
Yeah. Yeah, we love Dr.
But if
Steve.
you're beautiful, I want to see your gorgeous non-wrinkles.
You're making plenty of assumptions.
Okay.
But that's fine.
Because I have wrinkles. We can wrinkle together.
How old are you?
43.
Oh. Well.
Wow.
Was it a good O or a bad O?
So tell me one thing that you like about Stuttering John before we go.
I think he's adorable.
Thank you.
And I really do like his book. I read it a couple of times. It was just enamoring. I couldn't put it down about how he was tortured growing up because I could totally relate to that.
You mean easy for you to say? Available now on Amazon and everywhere you buy fine books?
And I got a discount because I got it on my Kindle reader. Because did you know that you could also get it on your Kindle reader?
Also in audiobook format.
Yes, sir. And it is just an enamoring book.
He didn't ask us about Trump. He did. Carter, man, come on. I'm all ready for this one. Do it. Just ask, and you can edit it in.
To be honest, I'm concerned if I ask you the question, the woman is just going to talk over and.
I know, right?
Yes.
Wow.
And that's too important of a question to. Fine. Why did you vote for Donald Trump 2 times?
I didn't. I voted for Biden 3 times. All, 1 vote per voting method.
Good. That's good. Did you have any plugs?
No, but I could use some. Do you know where I could get some hair plugs?
I was gonna say hair
All
plugs.
right.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you helping me get deeper into the psyche of the hater of all haters and the troll of all trolls. Carla, you've provided some great insight for my listening audience. Also, if you could please use the hashtag #UnblockCardiff on the internet, it would really help me. I've been blocked by a couple people now, and I don't know why, but I think it was an accident. Even Casey, the review girl, seems to have blocked me.
Oh, wow. I think, didn't John tell you? I remember hearing an episode of Stuttering John where he says if you change your name or something, then you can get back in.
Not on
I heard
Twitter.
something about that. Oh, no. Okay. Okay.
Twitter's. It's too
Yeah.
bad that was my only communication method with John.
Nah. I'm sorry, man. Hey. Well, thanks for reaching out. This was fun.
Thank you. I will have you on again, probably in a couple days. Thank you for your time.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Where's the off button?
Goodbye.
Bye-bye
bye.
now.
Goodbye.
I see you later, alligator.
Fine. Where's the button?
Okay.
Don't touch my phone. Bye.
I'm going to have to edit this out later.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I liked him. Bye, Cardiff.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It's like, no, you hang up.
You hang up. Bye, Cardi. Bye. Oh, you Cardiff. I got a question.
Let's go to the phones and take some calls from our listeners.
Are you tired of listening to substandard podcasts like the one you're listening to now? Well, we have a cure for your podcast needs. The world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast is available now on Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Cassette, and everywhere else you listen. Enjoy laughs and thought-provoking talk on the Cardiff Electric podcast. Also buy a shirt or a mug. There.
let's go to the phones and take some calls from our listeners.
Hey Cardiff, Gary from San Diego. It appears our hero, Stuttering John, is a tad jealous of his sidekick Richard Ojeda, because Richard Ojeda has been invited to speak on the greatest political show on TV, the Bill Maher HBO show. Ojeda is scheduled, I think, at the end of September. John is green with envy that Ojeda is going to leapfrog into the national prominence, leaving Stuttering John behind. Stuttering John is so envious that he's agreed to take Richard Ojeda to the HBO set, hoping to meet a producer, but that won't help John. They'll just brush him to the curb, kick him to the curb. Hey Cardiff, I'm afraid for Stuttering John. He keeps challenging his trolls and haters to show up at the Pickwick pub because they make fun of him and his kids. I understand the entire Canoga High football team is really upset with John just because he lives in Canoga Park and has besmirched the name of Canoga Park. The defensive line plans on showing up at the Pickwick pub after 3 o'clock when John shows up one of these days, and they're going to give him what for? Probably kick his ass, and he'll wind up in jail. Okay, good luck to John.
Today's show Today's show is also brought to you by Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola Corporation wants to let you know that summer's here. And what goes better with summer on a hot day than an ice-cold Coca-Cola? Psst, crack one open today and celebrate everything in the summer. When you buy your Coca-Cola today, let them know that you heard about it on the Cardiff Electric podcast.
Yes, there in that episode you heard Grant and Chrissy Hamburger interview. You really want to get the scoop on Carla and what's been going on with the hamburgers all the way back then too. And then we also heard another voicemail from Gary, R.I.P. Gary. He gave an update what was going on back then during the times of Stuttering John as he was still living in Canoga Park, going to the Pickwick. And there was also a mention of Richard Ojeda, who currently has been in a little bit of the news as certain tapes of him threatening to beat somebody up in the elevator, I believe, have resurfaced as he's trying to make a congressional run, I believe, this election season. So that's something interesting to look into. I'm not sure if he's been on John's show lately. But that was it for that episode, and oh, it's my favorite part. Thanks, Rod. You really hit the keys well tonight. Well, on to the next interview. You know him, you love him. Husey. I mean, what more can I say? I'd rather not say. I'd rather just listen.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world famous Cardiff Electric podcast, one of the most famous podcasts on the internet today. On today's show, we have internet sensation and recent troll of both Stuttering John and myself, Adam Hughes, aka Hughesy. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you?
Great.
Who is this?
What did you say? Who's this?
Yes.
My name's Hillary.
Hello, how are you? Welcome to the show. Do I have your permission to record this for broadcast on the internet?
No.
Oh. Okay. Well, thank you.
See ya.
Bye. Were you joking?
Always. I'm very, very funny. I'm a charismatic comedian type.
Oh, good. Okay. So thank you for coming on the Cardiff Electric podcast. It's a pleasure to have you today.
I don't pleasure anyone purposely.
Okay. So recently you were on Adam Goldberg's show and you were saying some very mean things about me. So I thought I would give you the opportunity to apologize. So go ahead.
Probably later on.
Okay. You're a very hard person to work with, I think.
No, I'm just hilarious as always, as I said.
Okay. Do you speak English?
Nope.
This is going to be a tough one for me.
Speak Pakistani if that helps.
No, that wouldn't help, actually. Okay, so what is your issue with Stuttering John Melendez, and why do you continue to be a hater and troll on the internet and attack him?
I don't, but it's funny to make fun of people that can't handle it. And I'll do it again and again. And I'll do it to other people who can't take it either.
Why is that? Why does that make you feel good?
I have a very small penis.
Okay, so jealousy is at the key to this, I see.
No, small penis.
Small penis jealousy, though.
Why would I be jealous of a small penis?
I don't know. That's your issue, not mine. Why did you vote for Donald Trump 2 times?
Well, as a proud American, I wanted him to MAGA.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Mint.
Chocolate or vanilla?
I'd have to go with vanilla.
Thank you. Did you have any questions for me?
Yeah.
Please
Would
go
you?
ahead. Yes.
Good. That's what I thought.
Okay, did you have any plugs?
No.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas, everybody.
It's a little early, but thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. Farewell. let's take some calls from our listeners.
Cardiff, I'm utterly surprised to hear that Stuttering John has the nerve to block you from Facebook and his YouTube podcast after all you've done for him. You've sent him super chat money. It's no good deed can go unpunished here. He's treating you worse than Ike Turner treated Tina Turner. He's thrown you under the bus, then he got in the bus, turned it on, and backed over the bus over you a couple of times. You're lying in the gutter from Stuttering John. Why would he do this to you? I've been racking my brain as to why Stuttering John would block you. It's unbelievable. Have you not thrown enough accolades towards his kids? Have you not praised him enough for stomping on ex-president Donald Trump? Have you said something about his shitty stand-up act? It's a shoddy act, that's for sure. I don't know what you've done, but I don't think it's wise for you to beg to be unblocked. That's what he wants. He wants you to grovel in front of him. Don't do it, Cardiff. Don't grovel. Don't snivel. Kick him to the curb just like he did to you. John's getting a little too big for his britches, kicking you to the curb. Well, I had planned to donate $2,000 to John via Super Chat for his DC interview stint. Now, he's not getting a dime from me. I'm hoping, I think once John goes to DC, those Republicans are just going to ignore him. He's going to fall flat on his face. He's just too arrogant. And I think Republicans are just going to turn around once they see him and walk away. He'll be sitting there holding his mic all by himself. Too bad for John. I guess I'll play a small violin.
Gary, there's no way I'm going to allow you to spend $2,000 of our money on that rat fink Stuttering John after he kicked our friend Cardiff Electric to the curb. Let him get his money for DC from more gullible fans than us. In any event, I can use that $2,000 to buy more shoes. And let's keep listening to Cardiff. He's got the much better podcast.
Cardiff, I'm in 100% solidarity with you. There's no more super chat money for that money grubber Stuttering John. You've seen the last of my money, Stuttering John. You've kicked Cardiff to the curb, and that's the last you'll hear from me.
Today's episode is also brought to you by Manscaped. The new Manscaped 2.0 lawnmower offers superior performance and grooming tools for all your manscaping needs. Use promo code Cardiff Electric for 50% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com. Promo code Cardiff Electric.
That was the Husey interview episode. And back then you didn't mention Husey was doing stuff with Adam Goldstein, and I did happen to put a link to an old show of Adam when he talked about his experience on the Cardiff Electric podcast back then. And I think there's also one of Adam and Husey both talking about it. And then they went to the voicemail segment, and I'm starting to believe back then that only Gary and Judy had the number to call to leave a voicemail, which is right. If there's any two people that should, it was definitely those two, and definitely R.I.P. Gary from San Diego. This one's for you, buddy. The next episode, or I should say interview, the Cardiff Electric interview, is with Eric Zane. Now, I'm sure nowadays we all know Zane from co-hosting on Who Are These Socials with Christian Blatt. But from my experience with Eric Zane was he was a member of Free Beer and Hot Wings back in the day. They were the station that took over for Howard, where I live, when Howard went to satellite. I was kind of stuck listening to that, and I didn't really care, because to me, listening to that show back then, like, all the voices of the people on the show sounded the same, so I couldn't really tell, like, who the hell was who, and who was Free Beer, who was Hot Wings, and Zane's voice did kind of stick out a little. But he eventually had problems with that show, and he took off, and now he started his own thing. So back in 2021, he called, well, he didn't call, Cardiff probably called him. But maybe we'll get some questions answered. The Eric Zane interview.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast, one of the most famous podcasts on the internet today.
Hey, it's your old pal, Dr. Steve from Weird Medicine, and you're listening to the world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast, one of the most famous podcasts on the internet today.
Are you tired of listening to substandard podcasts like the one you're listening to now? Well, we have a cure for your podcast needs. The world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast is available now on Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Cassette, and everywhere else you listen. Enjoy laughs and thought-provoking talk on the Cardiff Electric podcast. Also buy a shirt or a mug. There.
On today's show, we welcome Erica Zane, who is most notable for his attacks against Stuttering John on multiple shows on the internet. While preparing for today's show, I learned of the passing of comedian Norm Macdonald, who was one of my favorite comedians of all time. So this episode is dedicated to him.
Great, Manny. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. Just a word of advice.
You hear me okay?
Hello, is this okay to record for rebroadcast on the internet?
Absolutely, Cardiff Electric.
Thank you. How are you?
I am never better. It's good. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
Thank you. Welcome to the show, the most famous podcast on the internet today.
It is. It's a fantastic day to be able to pull this off.
Okay. Unfortunately, as I was preparing for this episode, I got the tragic news that comedic genius Norm Macdonald had passed away today. So it really affected my preparation.
That is understandable. It was just I didn't know he was sick. I guess he kept it quiet. I guess no one knew he was sick. You know?
No, he did. He did keep it very close to the chest, as they say, and that's not a pun in any way. If his cancer was chest related, so I'm not making light of the situation.
Well, if he were here, he'd laugh at that, because that's kind of you just had a tribute for him, because that's the type of joke that he would say.
You're probably right. He is my inspiration in many ways, and I used to love watching him on Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live. Have you ever seen that show?
Of course, Cardiff Electric. Yes.
Thank you. So that being said, if you would like to reminisce on Norm MacDonald, I will give you the time now to do so. Otherwise, we can go into what I have prepared.
Well, let's go into what you had prepared.
Okay. So why did you, first of all, welcome to the show, Erica Zane. Please tell my audience who you are and why you're famous.
I have a podcast called the Eric Zane Show Podcast, and I used to be on the radio, and then that kind of dried up. So I tried my hand at this podcasting thing in hopes of being as popular as you one day.
Good luck. So why did you leave the Franks and Dean show?
Well, at the time I didn't want to go. And but I was fired from that show because I would constantly make fun of the sponsors, who would then voice their displeasure to the radio station, and they had had enough, so they sent me on my way.
Well, that was a good move on their part, I believe.
I think so. I think it ultimately was.
What I've learned in my many years of podcasting is you're only as good as your sponsors.
They do help. You have a lot, probably Apple and Chevy trucks, things like that.
No, I have Coca-Cola. I have Manscaped. I have the SJ Army and the Chicago Mission. They were a big sponsor for a long time.
I believe it.
Yes. Why did you decide to join forces with the biggest hater and troll on the internet, even after being targeted by him and his minions?
Okay.
Carla.
Yes, you are referring to Carla, as you say. His real name is Carl.
Whatever you say, Erica.
Well, I don't know. I kind of saw an opportunity there that if I responded, not with hatred, but rolling with the punches, that I would probably have more fun. It would help me, and it turns out I like Carl very much.
You're definitely in the minority there. So how did that work out for you?
It's worked out very well. There's been a series of things that have happened in succession since I started to kind of almost be one of the guest hosts from time to time on that show that have helped me in many, many ways.
I see you are even trying to sidle yourself up to Anthony Cumin, another noted hater and troll. Why would you do such a thing?
Well, I don't look at Anthony or Carl in the same way you do, Cardiff Electric, but to each their own. And I actually have always thought Anthony was very funny. So when I was approached by the person who runs his network, E-Rock, he liked my appearance on Who Are These Podcasts with Carla, and I was offered to be on that show. So that was a very, very big moment for me. That helped me also. As I am sure this will help me even more than being on those shows, being on the world famous Cardiff Electric podcast.
Being part of the Cardiff Electric Podcast Network has been very beneficial to many other podcasts out there. So hopefully my audience will like what they hear today, but we will see.
Well, let me just say, Cardiff Electric, if I may, that I have had nearly every day people reaching out to me saying, why will you not be on the Cardiff Electric podcast? And it was a person who went on Twitter as, I think they went by United Airlines or something like that, if I remember correctly. That person actually bugged me a lot, and that was the reason why I said, all right, I'll do it. But you then blocked that guy, and I don't know why you did that, because he was very hurt by that.
Well, United, it's not a person. That is actually a corporate account for United Airlines. And the problem is I am signing Delta as a sponsor, and I felt it would be a conflict of interest.
Okay, well,
have both.
That makes
in
sense.
My Twitter. So do you like Jet's Pizza?
I do. Very much so. I like that type of pizza, and I think the corner spot, the corner piece is my favorite.
Little Caesars is my favorite Detroit-style pizza.
Also very good. Have you ever had Buddy's Pizza?
No.
Okay, that's a Michigan-based thing. Terrific Detroit-style pizza.
Since you brought up Detroit, let's go there. Lafayette or American? What say you?
Lafayette, Coney Island is hands down the best.
Why?
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the particular style of the hot dog that they use or the nature of the bun, but for some reason, I've always been more fond of those.
I guess we'll have to get an answer from you at another time. So why are you so jealous of Stuttering John Melendez?
Well, who wouldn't be? I mean, John has been with Howard Stern, has influenced that show, obviously. Some of the those amazing interviews he did with people were some of the funniest things that have ever happened. And, he was the voice of The Tonight Show. So, I mean, as a person who kind of dabbles in this type of work, you know that word dabble?
We don't use that word.
My apologies. Tries to improve oneself. I would have to look towards his, his acumen in this to, of course I'm jealous.
Well, of course you are, because, yes, maybe you had been on a small radio show for a while, but Stuttering John had spent many years on a national radio show as a key player.
Correct.
Stuttering John has been on network television shows, including I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and announcer and head writer of The Tonight Show for many, many years. John has produced movies that were presented by the Great National Lampoon. Have you ever watched a National Lampoon movie? Probably have, many, many times. A lot of people watch every Christmas Vacation. So again, John's written a best-selling book, and he's written best-selling gold albums, and he's been very successful in so many types of media. And if you were interested, you could go on Amazon and order Easy for You to Say right now, if you have Prime. So again, we see why people like you and Carla and Anthony Cumin and Eric Nagel all are jealous of the great John Melendez. Do you drink Faygo?
Of course. I'm in Michigan.
Which flavor is your favorite?
Cream soda. And grape. Cardiff Electric.
Right. I just find it amazing that after listing all Stuttering John's accomplishments, you had nothing to say. You were so amazed.
Well,
are you still affiliated?
I have a little more. I have a little more about John. May I?
This is my show.
Okay. All right. Fine. Well,
are you still affiliated with the Juggalos?
I have never been affiliated with the Juggalos, Cardiff. I don't. No, not at all.
So you're renouncing your membership live on the air.
Cardiff, I have never been a Juggalo.
Answer the question, Erica.
All right, I renounce my membership as a Juggalo.
Thank you. Have you ever been arrested for beating up random children in Walmart?
No, I have been arrested, but I have not been arrested for what you said.
So they've never caught you?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Zane. Did you have any plugs or any questions for me before we end the episode?
That is very kind. Everything that I do is at ericzaneshow.com, Cardiff Electric.
ericzaneshow.communist. Why did you vote for Donald Trump 2 times?
Once. Just once.
That's bad enough.
Okay. I voted for him in the second election. And I thought he would do a better job. That's why I voted for him.
I almost let you go without asking my trademark question. So please, I don't even think I need to ask it at this point. Go ahead.
I don't know what the trademark question is. I guess I'm not in the know.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Oh. Chocolate. Cardiff Electric.
Thank you. So thank you for your time, everybody. Please go to ericazane.com for all the Erica Zane information. You can go to YouTube or Twitter or probably the halfway house down the street. and you'll find someone that likes Erica Zane. That's not a slight.
I understand.
That's just a fact of your show. Anyway, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you. I'm glad you jumped on board with the Unblock Cardiff movement going on right now.
Yes.
It's really gaining steam, and hopefully soon we will get Cardiff Electric unblocked on Twitter.
I think you're on to something here, Cardiff, and just keep doing what you're doing, and you will continue to do amazing things. I don't ever want you to hesitate. If you ever need anything from me, you just let me know, and I will do everything I can to help you.
Thank you very much, Erica Zane. I appreciate your time today, and you are definitely one of the guests I've had on my show.
Yes, I am. Cardiff, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. You too.
And this show is dedicated to the memory of Norm Macdonald. He was a funny man.
Very nice. That's true. Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, should I go or should you go?
Just my mouse isn't working.
Okay. All right.
It says I have to update a driver. Hold on.
Awkward.
So let's go into bonus mode.
Of course, Cardiff. I would like nothing more.
Are you proud of yourself?
Sometimes. Sometimes I am.
Are you drinking milk?
Drinking water in a milk jug, Cardiff. Yes, sir.
That's very good for the environment. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is that cup you're drinking from?
Original 6 Detroit Red Wings hockey.
You like hockey?
I most certainly do.
Do you like the Wolverines or the other team?
Colleges in Michigan. I don't really root for one, but in the past I was a big Wolverines fan. I like it when they all do well.
Interesting. Yet you root against the great Stuttering John Melendez.
I do not. No, I would never do that. I've made fun of him, but he made a career out of making fun of people.
No, he didn't.
He didn't.
He did not make fun of people. He made light of situations that he was placed in and made it funny.
He would ask those awkward questions. I remember. That's how is that different than what playing his bits and criticizing them? Well, I mean,
because you're targeting a man who is just trying to restart his career after being forced to move across the country against his will.
I mean, that's. I would argue, respectfully disagree that what is done to John on Carl's show or Carla is not that different than the situations that he's put people in the past. It's all good. It's all for the laugh. It's a roast. Have you ever been to a roast, Cardiff?
Well, yes, but a roast is done with love. And I don't believe Carla has any love in his heart. I've recently spoken to members of Carla's family, and there are some definite problems.
Well, I don't know anything about that, and I don't know if you have some inside information, but
you should listen to my very special episode that was posted last week, where I had his brother and his sister-in-law on the show to discuss the deep-rooted issues with that man.
Yeah.
And what caused him to have a life of jealousy and to just bathe in that jealousy every day in that basement instead of going outside and getting some sunshine.
You know, we all hang out in basements, whatever. I mean, I'll have to listen to the episode, but you know, I think John has always been funny on the show and things like that. You know, to be perfectly honest with you, I saw a moment there was an old clip on the Howard Stern show where Howard was explaining to John about how unfunny he is. And I actually felt horrible watching that. I was mortified by that because I felt the poor guy's heart breaking. This is many, many years ago. And I do not like that. And I would want nothing more than him to be just filled with laughter.
Do you know that once Howard Stern suggested that Stuttering John should have his baby aborted?
Oh, God.
That's the terrible, but that's the kind of thing that Carla is putting out into the world.
No.
He's had people doxxed. He's sent out his minions to attack Stuttering John everywhere. He's doxed me personally. My mother has been getting doxed.
Well, I don't know anything about that. I would hate that if that were true. And I don't know that. I can only go by your word. And I've just met you, so I can't say one way or the other, you know? And I hope that doesn't come off as disrespectful to you, you know?
Yes. Have you ever played Fox Creek?
No, Cardiff, I have not. What is it?
It's a golf club.
Oh! I thought it was a video game or something like Star Fox. No, I don't golf. I hate the game. It's horrible.
You look like you would be a golfer.
I don't do anything but sit here all day, Cardiff.
Did you go to the Chicago event?
Yes, I did. And we were expecting you.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, your name was mentioned, Cardiff Electric.
I know.
And
I was there in reconnaissance mode.
Okay.
I had
all
recordings of the entire show, and I proved that there were no entertaining moments and nobody laughed, and there was lots of dead silence in the show. And
that is a lie. Now since I was there, that is a bold-faced lie.
I have the tapes, but they were destroyed in Hurricane Ida.
Okay. Can I ask a question, Cardiff? Is that okay? I don't want to step on your toes.
Hold on. Yes, go ahead.
Cardiff, how long have you been podcasting for?
I feel sometimes like I invented podcasting. I've been doing it for so long. I recently started on my feed doing the podcast school, where I take episodes of random podcasts and I give them advice to make them better podcasts.
Wow, that sounds like that. I think that might have been done before.
Not the way I do it, but...
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You know, when I was targeted on who are these podcasts, this might sound crazy, but a lot of the things that Carla and Andy said about me, they were correct, and I eliminated a lot of nasty habits to try to make myself improve. Does that make any sense since you run the school now, Cardiff?
If you would like one of your episodes to be graded on the Cardiff Electric Podcast School, you will need to subscribe to the podcast school level on my Patreon, and I will definitely take a look and offer you some advice. But I wouldn't do that for free. Again,
of course.
Would you ask a doctor to give you surgery for free? No.
You are right.
You wouldn't.
You are right. And I think that's a great thing that you're doing, Cardiff.
I do ask some doctors to do things for free, but that's coming up on another episode.
Okay.
Dr. Steve is a good friend of mine.
So that was my next question. Has he been on the show, Doctor?
Yes, he has. He was one of my first celebrity guests.
That is nice.
He's even actually recorded some drops for me to use on my show because he's such a big fan. He's on my Patreon and everything.
Now, I also noticed that Carla was on an episode once.
Yes, he was, and I got him good. I really showed how jealous he is, and I proved to the world what a big, bad person he is.
Boy, I don't know. Calling him a big bad person is.
I exposed the virus for what it is, not to make jokes about viruses.
No, of course not. How did you land that? But with you two being so at odds, I mean, I think that is a true example of your skills if you can take someone who you so despise and get them to open up the way that they did in podcast form.
Well, I think, are you asking about Carla or Dr. Steve?
Carla.
Yes. Okay, so Carla was actually very easy because it really came down to money. He was scared about all the money he was going to lose at the live show, and he knew that when the SJ Army came in and shut down the live show, he was going to have to give all that money back. So as part of the negotiations for shutting down the Chicago mission, he came on my show to allow himself to be exposed for the virus to the world that he is. Okay. So again, that was only part of the negotiations. The rest is to be released later this month once the drafts have all been completed by legal.
Okay.
But yes, he was really just came on my show with his tail between his legs.
Very long-winded answer. I mean, if I were giving you some critique, I would say maybe the Reader's Digest version, just a little helpful hint. And but for the most part, that was good.
I didn't ask for your advice.
Okay, well, Cardiff, I don't want to wrap you up, but my dogs have to eat.
Mine too.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time. Do you have any plugs?
Nope, no, I did them already, and I'm so lucky to be able to be asked to be on the Cardiff Electric podcast.
Thank you very much. We'll have you again on soon if the numbers warrant it.
Okay, well, hopefully they will.
Thank you, and you have a wonderful day. Hopefully I can end this now, so I don't know if I want to. Let's take some calls.
Hey, Cardiff. I'm assuming that John has not unblocked you. He's kind of acting a little bit like Donald Trump. He wants you now to come to Canoga Park to kiss his ring, and then maybe he'll consider unblocking you. This is terrible. Please reconsider your support for Stuttering John. He does not deserve it. He's arrogant and way too big for his britches. Cardiff, I was listening to the WATP podcast and the Kermit and Friends podcast, and it turns out Stuttering John has been caught in a lie. For years, he's been haranguing Howard Stern for not contributing to Scott the Engineer's GoFundMe page for his dying wife. Then he was asked, John, how much have you contributed to the GoFundMe page for Scott? He says, oh, I didn't have a chance to. The GoFundMe page was closed before I had a chance to contribute it. But in fact, he was exposed by Carl, and he could have contributed, but he didn't contribute a dime, not one dime to Scott the Engineer. Shame on him. Cardiff, the Taft High School football team is gunning for Stuttering John. They realize he goes to the Pickwick pub just about every day at 3 o'clock and stays there until he's pretty much blackout drunk, gets in his car, and drives right by Taft High School, almost running over a couple of their defensive backs. They're pissed, and they're going to rough him up next time they see him out on the streets alone. They're going to put him in a corner and show him what for. Good luck to Stuttering John. Those guys are huge. Okay. Cardiff, I spoke to the amazing Kreskin this morning and asked him how well John would do with his interviewing Republicans in D.C. with his ridiculous questions. He said John's going to fall flat on his face. He predicted it, just like a lead balloon. It's not going to be good for him. The Republicans and their network, they already know John's coming. They'll see him with a camera crew, and either they'll walk away or they'll avoid him like the plague. I feel sorry for John. He's going to spend a lot of his money, a lot of his donations to interview Republicans, and it's not going to go well for him at all. Probably a complete failure.
Cardiff, as a fellow SJ Army member, I want to tell you that we are all working hard behind the scenes to convince Stuttering John to unblock you and acknowledge his villainous tactics and cleanse his heart. Hashtag SJ Army.
Today's show is also brought to you by Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola Corporation wants to let you know that summer's here. And what goes better with summer on a hot day than an ice-cold Coca-Cola? Psst! Crack one open today and celebrate everything in the summer. When you buy your Coca-Cola today, let them know that you heard about it on the Cardiff Electric podcast.
That was the Eric Scene interview. And as you remember, in the middle of it, he mentioned about having his driver, he had to update his driver, and which caused Eric to have to stay on for a couple more minutes. But that was fine. It sounded like Eric really enjoyed it, which was great. And in there, you also heard Cardiff mention his Patreon, which he created just around this time. You can still use that now. Patreon.com/Cardiff Electric for all your potato needs. And also saw someone in the chat was mentioning about the car off, which is our next episode. We're going to cover the very first Carl off. And of course, this was his attempt at mocking the creep off, which you can go to right now at thecreepoff.com and vote for Vinny. So, how about we get into it right now?
Oh, scary kids. Pull the string, pull the string. You're listening to the Karloff Podcast on the Cardiff Electric Podcast Network.
Karloff does not deserve to smell my shit!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of the Karloff. We were tired of all the other true crime podcasts that follow the same formula. One fat guy, one club-footed guy, one wheel. We have a new take on the true crime podcast, and we also talk about classic horror films. Brought to you by the Cardiff Electric Podcast Network. In today's true crime segment, we will discuss Carla Leanne Homolka. She was born May the 4th, 1970. She is a Canadian serial killer and rapist who, with her first husband Paul Bernardo, raped and murdered at least 3 minors between 1990 and 1992. Homolka attracted worldwide media attention when she was convicted of manslaughter following a plea bargain to serve only 12 years in the rape-murders of 2 Ontario teenage girls, Leslie Mojave and Kristen French, as well as the rape and death of her own sister, Tammy Homolka. She was never charged with sexual assault, despite the evidence due to her plea bargain. She is currently on release since July 4th of 2005. She was married to Paul Bernardo and had 3 children. She served 12 years in prison. Homolka stated to investigators that Bernardo had abused her and that she had been an unwilling accomplice to the murders. As a result, she struck a deal with the prosecutors for a reduced prison sentence of 12 years in exchange for a guilty plea to the charge of manslaughter. Homolka scored 5 out of 40 on the psychopathy checklist, in contrast to Bernardo's 35 out of 40. However, videotapes of the crime surfaced after the plea bargain and demonstrated that Homolka was a more active participant than she had claimed. As a result, the deal she had struck with the prosecutors was dubbed in Canadian press the deal with the devil. Public outrage about Homolka's plea deal continued until her high-profile release from prison in 2005. Following her release from prison, Homolka settled in Quebec, where she married Thierry Bordelis, the brother of her lawyer, Sylvia Bordelis. She briefly lived in Antilles and Guadeloupe, but by 2014 had returned to Quebec. There you go again, folks. Another Carla committing atrocities in the world. This is the reason this show exists, to spread awareness. Now let's spin the wheel.
Oh, scary kids. Pull the string, pull the string. You're listening to the Karloff Podcast, a podcast about evil cars. Ooh.
Karloff does not deserve to smell my shit!
In today's classic horror film segment, we will discuss Frankenstein. Currently has 100% fresh, certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, with an audience score of 87%. Frankenstein was released in 1931 and is 1 hour and 11 minutes long. This iconic horror film follows the obsessed scientist Dr. Henry Frankenstein, played by Colin Clive, as he attempts to create life by assembling a creature from body parts of the deceased. That means they're dead. Aided by his loyal, misshapen assistant, Fritz, played by Dwight Fry, Frankenstein succeeds in animating his monster, played by Boris Karloff. But confused and traumatized, it escapes into the countryside and begins to wreak havoc. Frankenstein searches for the elusive being and eventually must confront his tormented creation. The film was released in theaters on November 21st, 1931. We are approaching the 90th anniversary of this movie. As we said, Boris Karloff played the monster. I think James Whale, the director of this picture, may congratulate himself on making a talkie that won't be forgotten, even in those dark midnight moments when one awakes from a sound sleep to feel prickling of the scalp and a cold sweat. I think this is the most influential horror film ever made. This stark and stylish work has a weird fairy tale beauty. So definitely check out 1931's Frankenstein. It's available on Fandango, on Vudu, on Prime Video, and on Apple TV. Leave us a voicemail with your thoughts on this classic horror movie.
So hot.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Tomorrow. I'm full of promise, but sweaty sleepers aren't too crazy about me. It's not my fault that people sleep hot.
You must be pretty popular because you've got a lot of fans.
Please stop coming here.
Casper. It's a Casper snow mattress, hyperlight sheets, and a lightweight duvet. The new cooling collection from Casper.
Well, that's a wrap on episode 1 of the Karloff. Be sure to interact with us on Twitter at KarloffPod. Go to our Anchor FM site and leave us a voicemail. Let us know if there is a true crime topic you would like us to cover, or a horror movie from back in the day that you would like us to dig into and review. Goodbye, everybody, and thanks for listening to The Karloff.
Hey, Cardiff. Some more not so good news for Stuttering John. It turns out Jay Leno is not hiring John as the announcer for the You Bet Your Life reboot. He's hired his old band leader, Kevin Eubanks, another job that Stuttering John won't get. Stuttering John is not going to be hired as the head writer either. It's just a series of bad news for John. On the more not so good news front, you've been blocked by Stuttering John. Elisa Jordana for Kermit and Friends has been blocked for Stuttering John. And now I've been blocked by Stuttering John. It's really bad. He's on a blocking spree. To recap, a lot of John's money appears to be going to gambling. It certainly doesn't go to his podcast, which he's promised to have a phone system for the last 2 years. It hasn't happened. Where else could John money be going, I ask myself. I think I know. It's going to beer. It's going to the Pickwick pub and the 3 or 4 cases he drinks each week of Coors Light. Well, at this rate, he'll never have a DC stint. He's going to keep putting it off and putting it off, probably till 2022 or 2023. Good luck, John. As John told Kermit and Friends, he's a member of at least 5 fantasy football leagues. That's quite a bit of money he's gambling every day. He also, on WATP, he said he was asked what he likes to do on the strip in Las Vegas. His answer, I like to gamble. When asked, what do you like to do off the strip when you're in Las Vegas? His answer, I like to gamble. The guy loves to gamble. And where is he doing his comedy stints? In Reno and Las Vegas, where for the next 23 hours after his so-called comedy act, he's gambling. That's where his money's going. It's not going to his DC stint. As I said, John appears to be broke. He keeps asking the same 10 donors every podcast for more and more money. Then when he doesn't get enough, he calls them chintzy. Now, why is he broke? Could it be that he's a degenerate gambler? We know he bets on the Yankees all the time, and he bets on NFL football, and he loves those prop bets. You can't be a successful gambler, and John certainly doesn't appear to be. Anthony Cumia says he's a terrible poker player. He's lost lots of money in poker games. And we know he's a member of 5 fantasy football leagues. He told that to Kermit and Friends. The guy appears to run through money very quickly. Cardiff, something very fishy is going on with Stuttering John. He keeps putting off his DC interview stint. Initially, he said it was going to be in September. Then he said it was going to be in October. Now he says it's going to be in November. What's going on here? Why is he stalling? Could it be that he's broke? Possibly. Number one, he's looking for a place to stay in DC for free with one of his listeners, Mark P. Number two, the guy is constantly begging for donations and super chats. I'm going to continue this.
Cardiff, I just want you to know that even though Stuttering John has yet to rectify his mistakes and traitorous actions and deeds, we're still here to support you. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll unblock you. If not, just make a new account that's Cardiff Electric 2 or something. Cardiff, as a fellow SJ Army member, I want to tell you that we are all working hard behind the scenes to convince Stuttering John to unblock you and acknowledge his villainous tactics and cleanse his heart. Hashtag SJ Army.
Cardiff, the Taft High School football team is gunning for Stuttering John. They realize he goes to the Pickwick pub just about every day at 3 o'clock and stays there until he's pretty much blackout drunk, gets in his car, and drives right by Taft High School, almost running over a couple of their defensive backs. They're pissed, and they're going to rough him up next time they see him out on the streets alone. They're going to put him in a corner and show him what for. Good luck to Stuttering John. Those guys are huge. Cardiff, I was listening to the WATP podcast and the Kermit and Friends podcast, and it turns out Stuttering John has been caught in a lie. For years, he's been haranguing Howard Stern for not contributing to Scott the Engineer's GoFundMe page for his dying wife. Then he was asked, John, how much have you contributed to the GoFundMe page for Scott? He says, oh, I didn't have a chance to. The GoFundMe page was closed before I had a chance to contribute it. But in fact, he was exposed by Carl, and he could have contributed, but he didn't contribute a dime, not one dime to Scott the Engineer. Shame on him. Hey, Cardiff. I'm assuming that John has not unblocked you. He's kind of acting a little bit like Donald Trump. He wants you now to come to Canoga Park to kiss his ring, and then maybe he'll consider unblocking you. This is terrible. Please reconsider your support for Stuttering John. He does not deserve it. He's arrogant and way too big for his britches. Cardiff, I'm in 100% solidarity with you. There's no more super chat money for that money grubber, Stuttering John. You've seen the last of my money, Stuttering John. You've kicked Cardiff to the curb, and that's the last you'll hear from me.
Gary, there's no way I'm going to allow you to spend $2,000 of our money on that rat fink Stuttering John after he kicked our friend Cardiff Electric to the curb. Let him get his money for DC from more gullible fans than us. In any event, I can use that $2,000 to buy more shoes. And let's keep listening to Cardiff. He's got the much better podcast.
John's getting a little too big for his britches, kicking you to the curb. Well, I had planned to donate $2,000 to John via Super Chat for his DC interview stint. Now, he's not getting a dime from me. I'm hoping, I think once John goes to DC, those Republicans are just going to ignore him. He's going to fall flat on his face. He's just too arrogant. And I think Republicans are just going to turn around once they see him and walk away. He'll be sitting there holding his mic all by himself. Too bad for John. I guess I'll play a small violin. I've been racking my brain as to why Stuttering John would block you. It's unbelievable. Have you not thrown enough accolades towards his kids? Have you not praised him enough for stomping on ex-president Donald Trump? Have you said something about his shitty stand-up act? It's a shoddy act, that's for sure. I don't know what you've done, but I don't think it's wise for you to beg to be unblocked. That's what he wants. He wants you to grovel in front of him. Don't do it, Cardiff. Don't grovel. Don't snivel. Kick him to the curb just like he did to you. Cardiff, I'm utterly surprised to hear that Stuttering John has the nerve to block you from Facebook and his YouTube podcast after all you've done for him. You've sent him super chat money. It's no good deed can go unpunished here. He's treating you worse than Ike Turner treated Tina Turner. He's thrown you under the bus, then he got in the bus, turned it on, and backed over the bus over you a couple of times. You're lying in the gutter from Stuttering John. Why would he do this to you? Hey, Cardiff, I'm afraid for Stuttering John. He keeps challenging his trolls and haters to show up at the Pickwick pub because they make fun of him and his kids. I understand the entire Canoga High football team is really upset with John just because he lives in Canoga Park and has besmirched the name of Canoga Park. The defensive line plans on showing up at the Pickwick Pub after 3 o'clock when John shows up one of these days, and they're going to give him what for? Probably kick his ass, and he'll wind up in jail. Okay, good luck to John. Hey Cardiff, Gary from San Diego. It appears our hero, Stuttering John, is a tad jealous of his sidekick Richard Ojeda, because Richard Ojeda has been invited to speak on the greatest political show on TV, the Bill Maher HBO show. Ojeda is scheduled, I think, at the end of September. John is green with envy that Ojeda is going to leapfrog into the national prominence, leaving Stuttering John behind. Stuttering John is so envious that he's agreed to take Richard Ojeda to the HBO set, hoping to meet a producer, but that won't help John. They'll just brush him to the curb, kick him to the curb. Hey Cardiff, I hate to admit it, but that Stuttering John podcast is getting a little monotonous. He has on the same two guests every show. Army Major Richard Ojeda, who pretty much hates Trump, and that's all he says, and his butt-sniffing best friend, Hal Sparks. The same two guests every show. Can't he get somebody else? And whatever happened to his comedy? His top-notch comedy? I'm waiting to hear some comedy from Stuttering John. I don't know. This is really getting bad. Too monotonous for me. I ask you, Cardiff, who do you think is a bigger troll? Is it Lackey and Toady Anthony Cumin, or that sniveling groveler Carl Hamburger? Which one is the biggest troll? Thank you. After visiting Stuttering John at the Pickwick Pub, it took him exactly 1 week to give me a call. He said, "Hey, you prick, Gary. I'd like to come down to San Diego for some rest and relaxation before I do my DC interviews." Unfortunately, I had to tell him, "No, John, you can't stay with me at my beach house because my wife only allows one slob at a time, and that slob is me." So I had to turn down Stuttering John, even though I would have liked to have him stay at my beach house here in San Diego. John, you're on your own finding a place. Okay, talk to you later. Cardiff, it's clear that the Stuttering John Army went AWOL. Total dereliction of duty, and they abandoned their posts for the Chicago mission. I'm recommending and asking your blessing to appoint a blue ribbon committee to look into this fiasco, the total debacle. On the committee, I would like to nominate Michael Polpak, Army Major Richard Ojeda, and Stuttering John's butt best friend, Hal Sparks. As advisors, Lindsey Graham and Lauren Bovart. Hopefully that committee will move forward on this investigation. First, the Afghanistan Army goes AWOL. Now even more shocking news. The SJ Army, yes, the Stuttering John Army, goes AWOL. They don't show up for WATP. Ugh, this is terrible news. Let us know what's going on, Cardiff, please. Hey, Cardiff. I'm sitting here in San Diego on Sunday morning, and I listened to the WATP podcast, and I was hoping to hear that the Stuttering John Army disrupted their live show. But I'm rattled. it appears the SJ Army, according to hated Carl Hamburger, didn't appear. What was the glitch? Can you please explain to your millions of listeners what went wrong? There must be some major hangup. Maybe you had a secret agreement with Carl. I don't know. Please get back with your listeners. Thank you.
Yeah, I think some of those voicemails in the end there were kind of repeats. But Gary let so many WATP and Cardiff show then that it's hard to keep track of all of them, but I digress. Of course, that was the introduction of the Carl off, which prior to that he was doing these little skits where he would find creeps, any creep he could find with the name Carl, he would mention. But the one creep, the main creep I know named Carl is Carl Panzeran. That's but that's a whole nother subject and everything. But that one was kind of long. I got a couple more left here. Again, thank you all for still sticking around listening. These next few are all less than 10 minutes each, so we can get through them kind of quickly. You notice that back then, Gary did mention about John's fantasy football leagues, how he was in 5 of them, which I believe this year John signed up for again, like 5 more new fantasy leagues. Again, I think they're all like random Yahoo sports ones. So, history with John always seems to repeat itself. But on this next episode, it was a special episode, though. It was titled, he has special guest, S.J. Melendez, allegedly. Would S.J. appear? There's only one way to find out. Well, let's take a listen to it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast, one of the most famous podcasts on the internet today.
Hey, it's your old pal Dr. Steve from Weird Medicine, and you're listening to the world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast, one of the most famous podcasts on the internet today.
Like the one you're listening to now? Well, we have a cure for your podcast needs. The world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast is available now on Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Cassette, and everywhere else you listen. Enjoy laughs and thought-provoking talk on the Cardiff Electric podcast. Also buy a shirt or a mug. There.
We have a very special guest on the show today. I'd like to welcome our special guest, who still hasn't unblocked me, but I'm hoping after today's interview, he will. Stuttering John Melendez. Welcome to the show, John. Thank you for joining us. First off, I want to ask you a very topical question. What do you think about the X-Men movie franchise?
Oh, hi. Look, I'm just going to try and clear up a lot of things in 60 seconds about the X-Men series. X-Men First Class and Apocalypse and Days of Future Past. I watch all these videos on YouTube and they're trying to explain it, and I really think I have it. Here is what's going on. Who the fuck knows? Nobody knows. Even Brian freaking Singer and his fucking and the writer of the film going to a freaking a conference and they both can't agree on the fucking movie. There's so much freaking. There's no continuity. I haven't seen such a lack of continuity since the freaking Star Wars franchise. When in the future R2D2 can't fly. Suddenly in fucking episode 1, he's flying around all over the fucking place. It's all bullshit. It's to sell popcorn. Let's face it. The guy's right. This shit is getting stoned and he's writing the crap. I guarantee fucking calculus professor couldn't figure this shit out.
Thank you very much for that synopsis. Well, I hope you enjoyed your time on the show, and I hope you will unblock Cardiff soon on Twitter so that we can get back to what we were doing before. Do you have anything to say before you go?
For all my Patreon members, become a Patreon member at patreon.com/stutteringjohn or a YouTube member. I thank you all, and I appreciate all of you. This is Stuttering John saying, yeah.
Thank you, John. Let's take some calls from our listeners.
Well, Cardiff, I hope you're all right. You got you some good victuals over there. You ought not to let that old Stuttering John block you like that. They ought not to do that to a man. Well, I hope he'll unblock you, and he surely is. He's a rascal, that's for sure. He's a varmint, and you're a good one, and he ought to unblock you. Well, I get you some good victuals, and I hope you have you good. And I got me a crust of bread, and I got me some swamp water, so I'll be all right. All right, well, thank you, bye.
Some people say John is broke. Others say he's not broke, he's just cheap. Basically, he's a miser. Recently, he hired a comedy writer to fashion questions for Republicans for his Washington, D.C. gig. How much did he pay the comedy writer? He paid him $100. He's cheap. He's a tight ass. Basically, John is a total Scrooge.
Hello. Are you there? Well, Mr. Electric, the more I think about it, the madder I get. I think you ought to tell old Stuttering John what for. Give him a piece of your mind. I'll tell you that. He ought not to block and sign fellers such as yourself. Well, all of us in the holler now, we're all supporting you. And I hope you get that feller to do what he's supposed to do and unblock you from whatever that is he's got you blocked from. I don't rightly know. All right, well, I appreciate you, and I hope you get you some good victuals today and stay away from them corn squeezing. That's the devil's drink, bitch.
Poor Stuttering John. Richard Ojeda finally made his big debut live on the Bill Maher Show, and he did really well. But one thing he did not do was mention Stuttering John. I'm sure Stuttering John is pulling his hair out. You know, he may even decide to ban Richard Ojeda from his show, which would be just awful. He's one of the few good guests he's got. He's only going to be left with Hal Sparks. Anyway, it's clear that Richard Ojeda is vaulting into a much higher level of communication. Stuttering John will never catch up.
I know that you're my buddy Oscar, and I love you more each day. And you always make me happy, and that is why I just have to say, lead on, but don't get attacked. Lead on, right in the back, yeah, lead on like Daddy does every time he goes to work. I lead on. I sit there, I do the job, I bring home the freaking check, and then we pay bills, and then I had to have 3 kids, and then I gotta change your diapers, and then I gotta take you bowling, and then I gotta take you to Chuck E. Cheese, and then I lose my sex life, and then I can't watch football. No, I gotta go out and go take you guys to the petting zoo. What do I want with a petting zoo? I'd have to get some petting myself. Ever since your mom gave birth to all you kids, I'm doing nothing. I'm getting nothing. Look at you. You're just happy sitting there, and I gotta do everything. Oh, you gotta worry about what Lego block you want to attach. I gotta worry about where my next paycheck is coming from. Try and go through that. That's not easy. It's not easy being me. You see what I gotta do around here? I'm doing everything.
We have to go to the bat mitzvah. Did you forget? Oh, God.
See what I'm talking
So hot.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Tomorrow. I'm full of promise, but sweaty sleepers aren't too crazy about me. It's not my fault that people sleep hot.
You must be pretty popular because you've got a lot of fans.
Please stop coming here.
Casper. It's a Casper snow mattress, hyperlight sheets, and a lightweight duvet. The new cooling collection from Casper.
That last song you heard there, that was from one of John's classics, I assume. Well, you did hear Gary mention about Ojeda and being on his Bill Maher podcast and possibly being banned from John, which, again, like I said, 4 years ago, around this time, and even today, it's possible John banning Ojeda for his Ojeda's own personal issues right now with his candidacy at risk. But on to the next one. The next one is titled Whom Are These Podcasts? Which is obviously a play on words from Who Are These Podcasts, which a lot of people assume was grammatically fuck that up. Incorrect. So let's take a listen to it. This one's only again about 6 minutes, and then we got one more after this, and then we'll get out of here for the night. Okay? So enjoy.
Hello, and welcome to Whom Are These Podcasts? A podcast review podcast that focuses on improving podcast grammar around the internet. Let's spin the wheel to see what podcast we'll be discussing today. The wheel has landed on Who Are These Podcasts, episode 279. Oddly enough, they have a very similar titled name to our podcast. Let's give it a listen and make them more grammatically correct.
Very popular Who's Right podcast. It's Doug from Who's Right. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
I don't not appreciate the invite any less.
All right, fair enough.
I don't even have words.
I offered to pay for Dick.
I don't have an issue with the grammar in that statement, but I do have an issue with admitting to soliciting prostitution on a podcast.
So one of the things from that clip that I played that I noticed with them and with the radio show is that it's constantly teasing what's coming up next.
There are two T's in the word constantly, sir. Unfortunately, this show was just unlistenable past this point, so we had to conclude our review there. Join us next time on Whom Are These Podcasts? This episode was brought to you on the Cardiff Electric Podcast Network, home of the most famous podcast on the internet today, the Cardiff Electric Podcast, the Karloff, and this show, Whom Are These Podcasts? Let's take some calls. Go ahead, caller.
Have you noticed how every sponsor John ever had has dropped off? let's recap. Blue Chew, the Boner Pill, they've dropped out. Manscape, they've dropped out. Speedweed, they've dropped out. True North, they've dropped out. The only sponsor remaining is Bet Online, and they're probably not even paying John. That's just an in-kind trade. You mention our name, and we'll let you gamble $100 a month. Just a credit. John has no sponsors, no real legitimate sponsors. What's happening to him? Hey, Cardiff. I called Stuttering John today, and he's performing at the Silver Legacy Hotel in Reno. For some reason, though, he's actually staying at the El Dorado Hotel and Casino in Reno. Anyway, I got through to his room about 2:30 today, and I told him to unblock Cardiff Electric. He just hung up on me. Then I tried to call him about an hour later, and I guess he got smart, and you can't even get to his room now. They won't even put you through. Anyway, sorry about that. Stuttering John reached a new low for bitterness and jealousy this past week. First, he calls out Dina Katz, who he calls a friend, a booker on the Bill Maher show. He calls her out for not booking him over the past 10 years on the Bill Maher show. Then, when Richard Ojeda shows up on Saturday, instead of congratulating Richard Ojeda, he calls him a coward. He calls the Army Major a coward for not mentioning him on the Bill Maher show. He says, "Didn't you mention me when you were on Bill Maher?" And Ojeda goes, "No." And he says, "You're a coward."
Today's show is also brought to you by Anchor FM. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, even though I have millions of listeners. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Substandard podcasts like the one you're listening to now? Well, we have a cure for your podcast needs. The world-famous Cardiff Electric podcast is available now on Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Cassette, and everywhere else you listen. Enjoy laughs and thought-provoking talk on the Cardiff Electric podcast. Also buy a shirt or a mug. There.
I can't really get tired of listening to Gary's voicemails nowadays. R.I.P. Gary. You'll be missed, my man. Now this brings us to our last episode of the night. I hope you enjoyed our date. Hope it hasn't been too loud. Hope the piano is nice. If any of you still listen, haven't realized, that's one of Rod Stewart's songs, piano instrumental, just played at a slower speed. YouTube terms of service. So now we're on to the final episode of the night, and this is the second Carl off episode. Again, anyone out there with the name Carl, that's a creep. series will be on a Karloff episode. And if you go to thecreepoff.com right now, make sure you vote for Vinny, no matter what. No matter who we picked. Always vote for Vinny. And let's get to it. Is there anything else to do but to do it?
Oh, scary kids. Pull the string, pull the string. You're listening to the Karloff Podcast on the Cardiff Electric Podcast Network.
Karloff does not deserve to smell my shit!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Karloff. We were tired of all the other true crime podcasts that follow the same formula. One fat guy, one club-footed guy, one wheel. We have a new take on the true crime podcast, and we also talk about classic horror films. Brought to you by the Cardiff Electric Podcast Network.
Oh, scary kids. Pull the string, pull the string. You're listening to the Karloff Podcast, a podcast about evil cars. Ooh.
Karloff does not deserve to smell my shit!
Tis the season of Halloween. So in today's horror movie segment, we will discuss the movie Halloween. Rated R, directed by John Carpenter, and released on October 25th, 1978, just in time for Halloween. On a cold Halloween night in 1963, 6-year-old Michael Myers brutally murdered his 17-year-old sister Judith. He was sentenced and locked away for 15 years, but on October 30th, 1978, just in time for Halloween, while being transferred for a court date, a 21-year-old Michael Myers steals a car and escapes Smith's Grove. He returns to his quiet hometown of Haddonfield, Illinois, where he looks for his next victim. Donald Pleasance, Jamie Lee Curtis, Nancy Keese, P.J. Soles all starred in this movie. Here's my opinion of this movie. Carpenter's 1978 slasher classic has inspired a million imitations as well as sequels, but few that demonstrate so clearly that a disreputable genre movie can be pure, rigorous work of art. Also, I think, in horror, the Jack-in-the-Box scare is the quickest way to get a scream, but the still shocks are the ones that linger with you. Halloween has them both, but it specializes in the second. So, if you haven't yet seen John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween, I would recommend that you go and watch it today or before Halloween. It's very scary, and you can watch it on Fandango, on Vudu, on Prime Video, or on Apple TV. You might also like A Nightmare on Elm Street, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or Carrie. Halloween currently has 96% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, that's a wrap on episode 1 of the Karloff. Be sure to interact with us on Twitter at KarloffPod. Go to our Anchor FM site and leave us a voicemail. Let us know if there is a true crime topic you would like us to cover, or a horror movie from back in the day that you would like us to dig into and review. Goodbye, everybody, and thanks for listening to The Karloff. In today's True Crime segment, we're going to discuss Carl Robert Brown, born November 26, 1930. Carl Robert Brown was an American teacher and mass murderer who killed 8 people and injured another 3 with a shotgun in a Miami welding shop on October 20, 1982. He was later fatally shot and run down by 2 witnesses when cycling away from the crime scene. See, everybody, what we've learned through all our other episodes is that most Carls that are murderers and rapists are generally in the world of marketing. But in this case, it's a teacher. Brown was born on November 26, 1930. He joined the Navy and was honorably discharged in 1954. Brown became a teacher, and when he wrote in his application, he said he always enjoyed being with younger people and felt that he could benefit these younger aggravated over the years. On August 19th, 1982, the day before the shooting, Brown had a heated argument with George Castello, an employee at Bob Moore's Welding and Machine Service, about a $20 bill for repairing a lawnmower motor he wanted to use to power his bicycle. Saying the work was properly done, he was also angry because his traveler's check was refused. Yes, most welding shops will not accept a traveler's check. Shortly before 11 the next day, he arrived at the welding shop on his bicycle, wearing a Panama hat and having one of the shotguns, which was variously identified as a Mossberg 500 or an Ithaca 37, slung over his shoulder. He entered the shop through the side door and began shooting, saying he would send everybody to Germany. According to police, Brown walked through the building methodically, shooting everyone, most of the time at close range and sometimes twice, leaving 3 victims in the office and the others in the work area, the driveway in front of the shop. This was a terrible thing that happened, and as we've tried to help our audience learn, please stay away from Carls. And for all you welders out there, especially in the Rochester area, if a Carl comes in, club-footing his way into your shop to have a lawnmower repaired, you're probably best to just send him on his way. Let's take some calls. And as a reminder to all the listeners named Gary, please don't have your wife call. Thank you.
In September, professional fake laugher Stuttering John hired comedy writer Adam Hunter to write fresh, topical jokes for Republicans. Now he's postponed his September gig all the way to November.
How are the questions going to be fresh and topical if they're written in September and delivered in November?
Exactly the point. He's going to be delivering stale, fresh jokes in November. I can't believe it. He's a total jackaloon. John is really bitter that he lost his house in Calabasas.
No, he isn't. John is just jealous of those who have more listeners and more money.
John is bitter that he wound up in Canoga Park.
No, John's just jealous.
John is bitter.
No, John is jealous.
Okay, John is jealous.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us today. That was The Karloff.
And that was Carl, episode 2. Again, thank you all for joining, hanging out. I do have one last thing to play, kind of Halloween related. If I could get it up there. Uh-oh, it's there. Yeah, obviously he always wore the Michael Myers mask, so of course, kind of made a little Halloween 1978 trailer featuring Carl. And you'll notice in there are some clips from his old Twitch stream that I found. I haven't found many, I only found a couple. Of course, I'm always still on the lookout for more. But I thank you all again for joining me tonight. Went a little longer than I was planning on. Kind of started a little rough at first, deciding to play a little WATP stuff and some old screenshots I found from back in the day. But you know, you live and you learn as you go. You know, it's like an idea of starting from now on is I might record these ahead of time and then kind of like premiere them or, you know, debut them as they come. Because I think quality and production wise on this end might be a lot more enjoyable for people listening and watching and following along. Because I think that's really what it's about, you know, quality over anything, you know, that's very important. So yeah, stick around for that. And before I leave you all tonight on our date, we're gonna watch a little something I made here, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Little Dabbler gossip. Dabbler may or may not be doing a members only stream following this. He said if he was gonna do it, it would be late. So that's why he told me, he's like, yeah, you could go on if you're gonna do my show, do it a little early, and he might do his afterwards. So just be on the lookout for that. And again, thank you all for joining me. And Rod, you've been great tonight. We're gonna tone you down a little bit as we all walk out of here. You know, all the staff in the back are quietly leaving and punching out for the weekend. And let's take a listen to, or take a watch actually, to Halloween, Cardiff Electric style. Hope this works.
The one, the only, the classic Halloween. Halloween night. A small American town. 15 years ago. Michael?
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.